So, with that, after our over a month long break, we are back with episode 127.
Welcome back. It has been way too long. Every time we skip 1 week, I feel like it's been forever, and it's been five, so good lord. Welcome back to another wonderful session of the Black Aurora. Last we left off, if my brain can jog the memory, you guys were revisiting your time as the Verdant Claw, members of the elite protectors of Emperor Takir, the Verdant clan, attending the Holy Alliance ball, while everyone else in the main room was busy fighting for their lives against the Apostle of Love, Tark, and succeeding. You guys, meanwhile, were escorting Emperor Takir out through a back entrance and trying to get to a secure location for the time to construct a teleportation circle home. But you were ambushed by the monks of Barristock, these borderline robotic construct like creatures that had above average intelligence and some sort of hive mind, and they seemed to be after your emperor's blood, and which tipped you off that they were behind the attack on the Verdant clan some months ago, where in that attempt they tried to get his blood back then, and you stopped it. There were also some weird machines back then that were unexplained that tried to abduct Strike at one point, and it is now obvious where those may have come from. They revealed that they are apparently working on something called the Arcus 2.0 project, and they showed you their work in progress of 4 machines, each aligned to one of the other 4 remaining members of the clans, aside from Verdant. So there was an Alabaster, a Cobalt, a Crimson, and a Golden. And you did battle with them, and boy, they were tough. They were some hardy machines. One could heal, one could counterspell, one could attack like 8 times, one was really fast. Nixie died. The Emperor died. Both people died in that one fight. It got really tense and close. You then had the knowledge that through Twilight's familiar alerting you there were other people coming to help hurt, hard to say, but it seemed like it was the Golden Clan, which you guys had suspicions of being enemies at the time. And so, in a desperate moment of panic, Twilight tried to escape with Strike, but before you could fully get away, the Golden Clan, being very quick, as they are well known for, arrived on the scene, and I think everyone believed that was pretty much going to be the end of things until it was revealed that diplomacy works, apparently, because King Dior managed to strike a deal with the Golden Clan, who were working with the monks of Aristoc previously and have now turned against them, and gave you all a much-needed dose of healing, and turned the tides. You guys then caused the monks to flee with one of the constructs. Unfortunately, the Cobalt Arcus did get away, but you did manage to get away with everyone alive because of Strike having Revivify, enough diamonds. And it was a good end. You guys did great. I wasn't sure if everyone was going to live through that, to be entirely honest, but hey, it was pretty well done. You just had to last long enough for the Golden Clan to arrive. We finished last session with a wrap-up of the ball from the other end of everyone else in the main room. The realization dawning on everyone that Cleric Helena may not have been all she appeared to be, and there were some loose ends to tie up involving Zivadona arriving at the end of last session to comfort a grieving Tinarok after Hephaestari had died, leading to a very, very, very tense moment. But thankfully, everyone kept their cool. Nothing really happened. It was just a lot of talking. Zivadona left with Tinarok. Everyone was getting ready to part ways and return to your homes, and then Dior's message was to reconvene in the next day or two, and we need to discuss everything. But in that moment, as you all were getting ready to leave, Peria and Helena collapsed suddenly and seemed to awake in a strange location. Peria, coming to, realizing she was seated at a table with what looks like the remaining apostles or actually all apostles, remaining or otherwise, including Castellus, who you've known for some time now to be inhabited by Kite, and previously was Cleric Helena, who has revealed her form as the goddess Amita, as you all obviously figured out for obvious reasons. And that is where we are picking up today, with the court of Invillis, as Amita has taken her seat and announced that she believes we need to bring these games to an end. I would also like to take this moment to formally apologize to everyone watching. This is going to be me yapping for the next 2 hours, pretty much. Pretty much.
We love the yaps.
We love
We
this.
like the yaps.
Give us more.
Oh, Peria, as you're the again. Also, I apologize to the rest of our players. Peria is the only one involved right now. I super apologize. Should have become apostles. I don't know what to tell you.
Of course.
I'm here for the show, okay?
Hey, if Peria hadn't chose to become an apostle, you wouldn't even be getting this. At least now she can at least tell you what happened here later.
Yeah.
Would have just been kind of a lore dump by Amita, probably. Peria, as you hear Amita make this proclamation, you can see everyone, all of the other apostles around, are focusing on Amita. Jamont looks very confused. He still doesn't seem to know entirely what's going on, as he was very much out of his mind when he was the first apostle. Zanatek has his arms crossed and looks slightly amused at what's happening. Tark, I think the last thing we heard from Tark was him slamming his fists against the table, saying it's not fair, he needs another chance. He still looks a little disheveled. Dane is looking reserved and curious, and Castellus has his hands folded in front of him on the table and just has a small smile.
What a jerk.
And you see Vivian is looking... You know Vivian well. She's calculating right now. She's taking this all in, and she's wondering, she's waiting for someone else to speak. As there's a small silence falls over the table after Amita makes her proclamation, Castellus clears his throat. And exactly what do you think should be done now, moving forward, then? If you think this game is invalidated, then do you have another suggestion on how we restore this world from its dying embers? Amita kind of settles herself. Well, I was hoping we could all have a discussion about that. As family. You see as she looks over to everyone. You see a couple Jamont looks kind of confused. Zanatek kind of I'm not your family. Oh, of course. I'm not speaking to you. And you see, Peria, from your vantage point, you can see images behind the chairs slowly coming into focus.
Yes. Finally.
Be the real family.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
You see what looks like similar but different styles of hair and clothes and features, but all related in some way. Women of various statures. Behind Jamont, you see a woman who looks imperious and furious. Behind Zanatek, a woman who looks ethereal, and her hair actually is slightly floating as she stands. This one is literally wrapped around Tark, has an arm around Tark, is kind of leaning over him and has a small smile. Behind Dane, to your side, is a woman who looks like she could kill.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I love it.
Over your shoulder, you know Varys,
My girl.
who is just standing with her arms folded.
Girl
And then
power,
behind
man.
Vivian, you see a more timid-looking woman.
I love this. Girl
And-
power, bitches.
Because
Behind Costellus,
it was Kite.
you see
Yeah.
Kite. Who does appear to be
Yo.
having she does appear to have 4 arms.
Yo!
Oh,
as you
yeah.
look
All
at
right.
her.
Does she
It's
got
very
like
This
Aeonic.
is her true form.
Yo,
Mm.
she's scary as hell. Yeah, bad bitch.
There's no longer an amalgam.
No, you've only seen Kite before when she was all spliced to hell with all her weird parts in the
Ah.
last campaign. This is Kite in her restored true form.
She got 4 damn arms. Holy crap.
You know she's a magic caster,
Oh,
good for more somatic components.
Just juggle them.
Thanks. Yes, she does it to juggle. That's why she has 4 arms, to juggle, not to code multiple
Of
spells at the same
course.
time. That would be silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amita smiles. It's been some time. And you look around, and nobody seems willing to speak up first until the one behind Dane takes a step forward and comes to the table and puts a hand down the table. Yes, it's very good to see you too. Let's get down to business. I won. We can all agree, right? She looks around. You see Kite as like she has like one pair of her hands is folded and the other pair she's like picking her nails. Can we now? Odias? I'm not so sure that's obvious to everyone else. See Odias without even, which by the way, her name seems to be Odias.
Thank you.
She points a hand over towards Kite without even looking in her direction and says, "You don't get to talk. You are not part of this. Remember? That was the whole point." Across the way, the one wrapped around Tart goes, "Come now, sister. There's no need to be so cross. Speak. This is interesting." And you see Tart goes, "How long have you been? Oh my god. Shh. It's okay, dear. I know we lost, but you did so well." As she's like whispering into Tark's ear. And you see the one behind Jamat kind of scoffs, like, "Amurai, please. This is important business. Take that man later." Okay, this one seems to back off. Her name is Amurai.
With an A or an O.
Amorai. Amurai. The apostle of love. Or the aspect of love, rather.
Oh, like a Morty. A Morty.
Amore.
They all have root words.
Amore.
Yes.
Oh.
Amore.
For reference, Amita's root word is amity,
Yep.
and Kite is based off of erudite. I just had to find a better way to name it. I didn't want to make her dite. Dite sounded weird when I made
It
it.
does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peria, you see Varys come up alongside you, and just kind of like look down at you, and she glances down at you for a moment, and then looks like there's a look of, you don't even need an insight check. There's a look of, "Oh, hello, you," and then looks over to Odias. "I agree, but there needs to be a discussion here, sister. But let's not forget, though it may appear you've won, I was exempt from playing properly. And we do need to readdress the rules here. I object to any clear, distinct win in this game."
Yeah.
You say
No. Never mind. This is the wrong mood. I really want to though.
reading the room. Yeah.
Reading the
yeah.
room.
You see Jamat goes, "I'm sorry, who are all of these people? I'm very lost." And you see this one comes up and says, "Quiet. Lost. Just sit there and act as my vessel. The adults are talking."
Oh shit.
You see Amita reaches over. "Please, Ayusti, it's not very kind to him. He didn't know. We haven't really explained anything. That's not fair. And you like fair, right? She just knows. Fine. Introductions then, I suppose. Amita stands up and gestures to each of the apostles, you guys, Peria, Vivian, everyone. All of you, I'm sure each of you can recognize to some degree who you are speaking to next to you, but the rest of them here are my siblings. As you know, Invillis, who we once were, was split into 8 parts quite a long time ago. Gestures over to the one wrapped around Tark. That would be Amurai, my sister, who represents love, selflessness, connection, and unity. She just kind of like waves. Across from her is Odias, representing hatred, selfishness, enmity, and isolation. You see Odias goes, damn right. Bit intense, I apologize. Varys, Barry, I know you are very aware of, represents truth, reality, principle, and Varys just going to give us a nod. Across from her, who has yet to speak, see the one that's kind of just wistful, standing there behind Zanatek. That is Fidea. Faith, conviction, belief, and hope. Just, even to that, does not respond. It almost looks like she's like looking off into the distance, like she's seeing something no one else is seeing. She's not usually very present, always looking at what could be. The curt one, speaking to a child as if they were lesser, rather than ours, that kind of like looks over to Jamaat with a smile. That is Ayusti. She represents justice, equity, integrity, and consequence. And across from her, who... Mentis, dear, really, you don't have to be so shy. These are our children, it's okay. The one over here kind of nods slightly. Is Mentis. Mercy, compassion, empathy, and redemption. And of course, points across the table. She who needs no introduction, I am sure. You see Kite steps forward next to Cassella, puts like one of her arms on Casellas' shoulder. It's so good to finally see you all again, sisters. Especially you, Amita. We haven't really talked much lately. Although I am surprised to see you here. I thought you didn't want any part in this game. Brings you terrestrial side. Amita nods back. My words exactly, sister. You were missing from our home. I came to find you, and look what I stumbled upon. Can't say I'm surprised, but I am disappointed. When you proposed this game for the rest of our sisters, I assumed you would keep your nose out of it. You really never admit you've just lost? Kite shakes her head. You don't know what you're talking about, dear. The rules never stipulated I couldn't take part. After all, I helped make them. It would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Eudias slams a fist on the table. That's ridiculous. The whole point is that you two fucked this world over. The 6 of us got a chance at it. Looks over to Varys, and Varys nods. That is the point of this game, yes. That's what I thought as well. I did find the whole Aurora thing a bit suspicious, though, but I never really thought it would be you, sister. Please explain yourself. The Kite shrugs with all 4 arms. If you need a refresher, I'm more than willing to go over the rules again, as we all agreed on them. You see she waves a hand, and words begin to etch into the space above you in midair. Rules of the Apostle game. Rule number 1. The game will begin once both Kite and Amita have abandoned Alcas. Odeus goes, see? Rule fucking 1, and you broke it. She goes, ah. Like 4 fingers go up. Abandonment does not mean permanent abandonment. You didn't say we couldn't return to the world. We were not forbidden from re-entering. You see, Varys goes, that is a very clear distinction that you were taking advantage of the wording. And you see Ayuste goes, I'll be really surprised. No.
Perry just shakes her head no.
Rule 2, and this should be interesting for some of you. Ayuste, the Kite looks over to her. Each aspect of Invillis chooses a champion whose ideals are least similar to the aspects and works to shape them into an apostle. This acts as an added layer of challenge and proves that aspect's ability to influence the world. And see, she, like, as she finishes it, she gestures to Jamat. Ayuste goes, what about him? He's an arch-paladin, Ayuste. Does he not believe in justice? Well, you must know he comes from the Valartane family, a corrupt family who have used their name to influence generations. He's only in this position because of nepotism. Jamat goes, it's violence, child.
Jesus.
Great.
Sinking into his chair as a goddess tells him to shut up.
Poor guy. He died
Love
so early, and now he's back
So early.
just to get, like...
Jamat was the first apostle out and is now being bullied by the gods.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny as hell. I love it.
The Kite says, see, I'm not the only one who can capitalize on these loopholes we've all found, haven't we? Rule number 3, skipping ahead. 3, apostles must be Elkin-born souls, Fidea. Over to the one standing behind Zazanatek. What? I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Fidea! Here! It's like all 4 fingers snapping. Rule number 3, apostles must be Elkin-born souls. What is this? Pointing to Zazanatek. Because she comes over and, like, you see she, like, leans down into his face and she's on like, excuse me, personal space. I've never seen this child before. Who is this? See, all the sisters like, ugh, please pay attention. This is your apostle, Fidea. No, I'm quite sure I chose a child. But not this child. There was a small boy with hope in his eyes.
Brown hair?
Yes, that one.
Billy.
Billy.
That's
That
a
sounds
lovely-
right.
Lovely boy.
Yes. Was that against the rules? No, but he's not here! Who are you again? Like, potatoes.
Oh my god.
Maybe I can clear it up, Zazanatek speaks. Billy and I are bonded at the soul. When you chose him, I tapped into the power a bit. He may have been your apostle, but I'm the one who represented you. Apparently. Like, looking at the Fidea with disgust and how like wistful she was being. Like, I really chose wrong, didn't I? Oh, I had much of a choice. By the way, I think this is all ridiculous. I don't believe in any of you, just so you know. See, Fidea goes, well, there you go. He didn't have any faith. It's perfect. But you didn't choose him! Dias, like, slamming her fist on the table. You're not paying attention!
Oh my god.
See, Kite goes, well, you can see, we're only 3 rules in, and it's not like I'm the only rule breaker here.
It's true.
We're all a little guilty, aren't we? You see, Varys goes, yeah, all of us, I'm sure. Let's finish out the rules to be safe. Rule number 4. The game continues until 1 apostle remains. Apostles are disqualified once slain. You see, Varys steps in. And that is where I have been wrong.
Yes, sir.
Though, She did it to herself. My apostle exited the game illegally. She's still alive. Where does that leave me? See, Odias goes, you should have taken better precautions with yours. How is that my fault? She was in the Invillium, which Kite created to keep us out. Well, I can't be helped, I suppose. My son has his own agendas. If he helps your apostle get out of a tight situation she didn't want to be in, maybe you should have made it more enticing. Ferris? What powers were you even giving her? I mean, my apostle is quite pleased with what I've given him, I'm sure. And Castell's just kind of like, just smiling.
I just didn't want to kill all my friends.
You see, as you speak up, Ferris just kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder. It's okay. You don't have to justify it. I understand now, but I wouldn't have made you kill your friends. It just could have taught you to control it better. And in the past, it's over. Kite goes, as we were saying, though. Rule 5. A unique entity known as the Star-Marked Soul will serve as the vessel for the aspect of Invillis, whose apostle is remaining at the end of the game. The Star-Marked Soul shall be determined by Kite. You all agreed to this. And you see, Ayusti speaks up. Yes, about that. Why was Mentis allowed to choose the Star-Marked Soul as her apostle? The whole point is it was a unique entity. That seemed a little unfair since she's supposed to be immortal. How were we supposed to kill an immortal apostle? Kite says, well, you did pretty fine. You seemed to handle it. Yes, because I had Jamaat specifically seek her out to fix the rules that you broke. You can't shoot. No, sorry. Points over to Mentis. You broke. Mentis like, I didn't. I see. Amita goes, it's okay. It's okay, dear.
Did everyone know?
Mentis speaks up. The rules don't say she can't also be an apostle. Do they? It just says she's unique. It doesn't say separate.
So immortal.
Am I wrong? I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I didn't want to break any rules. It's just, you said we had to choose an apostle out of somebody who least represented us, and I'm all about mercy and compassion and selflessness and care, and this is the most ruthless woman I've ever met. See, Vivian goes, she's right. She is right. That is fair.
100%.
By the way, when was I to be informed of my role as a Star-Marked Soul? Because nobody ever came and gave me like an orientation on being the immortal vessel for a goddess. Would that have maybe just come up once? The Kite says, wasn't part of the rules, didn't matter. You're just a vessel, it's fine.
It does matter.
We needed someone, Elkin-born, with the appropriate genetics that could house all of us once we united and the game was over, to remake the world. Vivian, you should consider yourself lucky you were chosen. It's a great honor. You will shepherd in the new world. I don't know what you're complaining about. You don't want to remake the world! Like Vivian. I like this one. It's a little messed up, but I like it.
Yeah.
Amita goes, I agree. I am in agreement. I think if all of you are willing to just put aside your grudges over this game, and I know, it's gone bad. Been a lot of rules broken. You see, both Amorai and Odias both at the same time go, I didn't break a rule. Look at the end. See, Amorai goes, I just lost fair and square. Sorry, Dark, dear. It's fine. Get off me. Yeah, I need to really work on that. You see, Odias goes, I agree, Amita. A lot of us have broken rules. A lot of this has been a farce, clearly, but we all agreed on it. And if we follow the rules, I'm the only one who is not in question. This man was a good man who
Fell into hate. For revenge. The loss of
He
his
may
wife.
have some revenge, but when I chose him, he was a happy man with a happy wife, and I chose correctly. Doesn't matter if now maybe he's finally started to see things my way. The point is, when I chose him, I chose correctly. I obeyed every rule. He is Elkinborn. He is not star-marked. He had very little hate in him when I chose him. I am the last actual apostle standing. I win. Game over. Give it to me. It's like a hush that falls over. Maita leans over against the table. Odias, dear, you're right. You are the only one who I can say did not break a rule and still has an apostle left. Me and Kite, we should not even be here. But we are, because loophole. And I came not to participate. I have no apostle. You see Kite goes, oh, is that so? What about that Felix boy? You can't tell me you haven't had him on the back burner for a while. Maita goes, if you pushed me to it, yes. But I'd rather not get him involved if I don't have to. Because these apostles, this whole situation, it's ruining lives. Do you not all see this? These are our children. We made this world together. Why are we causing them so much grief? We're making them fight each other. Kill friend and family alike. For what? To decide which of us is right? It's childish. It needs to stop. Please. And I know, Odias, I know. You're going to argue that it is over. It has stopped. You've won. But the game's been flawed from the very beginning. Who can say who really did win? Varys didn't get a fair shot. Okay, fine. Then let Varys choose a second apostle and I'll kill that one. I don't want that either. Maita wanted to stop. Please. Why can't we just let this world be?
Yes.
See, everyone kind of goes silent for a second. Ayusti. We all know why we can't let this world be. She looks over to Kite. Because someone broke it. And it's beyond redemption at this point. The cycle we all worked on was ruined by one. Pointing over to Kite directly. Couldn't let go. That's why we have to do this.
Can I tug on Varys' sleeve?
Yes, you can.
Maybe you should suggest getting rid of the cycle since it's so flawed and it can be broken by one person. Just let it go.
Varys leans down and says, we've been discussing that's actually kind of the whole point of this game. We're trying to remake the world so that it will work, so it's fixed. We can't just undo the cycle. We don't have an afterlife. We don't have a system to govern souls. It's a whole thing. I know what you're working on, but my sisters don't agree.
Why not? We're almost there.
I know. I understand. She leans down and says, I'm on your side. Just let me do the talking.
Okay, but if it makes it easier, I'll be your apostle again if we can end all this crap.
Unfortunately, that ship has sailed, but
Okay.
I do have an alternative, and I hope you understand.
Yeah, no problem.
Varys, like, it seems like while you two were talking, there was some more bickering between IUST and Kite. Varys stepped forward. I have a proposal, if it matters, if anyone's interested, on how we can fix things. But I need to make sure that there is some fairness in this, which I know IUST will appreciate. And I want to make sure we can all agree on it this time. No loopholes.
Looking at Kite.
Which is why I have invited someone to this meeting.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you all can forgive me. You see, Kite goes, who could you possibly invite to this meeting? This is a meeting between ourselves. This is in our minds. This isn't even a real place. How are you inviting... It's like they all at once stop and kind of like look up and look around. Oh, sister, you didn't.
Oh, yes, she did. Who did she invite, though?
As there is a sudden chill in the air, and then there is like almost like a glitch in space. And in the middle of the table, floating above the table, you see what looks like the form of the Pleroma. As you feel the overwhelming presence of the Monad's attention turn inward onto this meeting as the Aeons are in attendance. And you see Varys nods.
Love it.
I did it. You see a might, like, all of the apostles kind of like, they all, not the apostles, the aspects kind of take like a step back immediately. Even Odias, and even Kite, to a degree, takes a step back. Amita remains at her seat, but kind of like back a bit. As floating above the table, a figure draped in a dark cloth, the insides of its body is a swirling nebula of stars and galaxies. Its vaguely humanoid hands seem to be resting at its side, but there are these two spheres of white and black hovering over each shoulder, and the hood obscures a pitch dark void of nothing as the Pleroma, the most powerful degree of Aeon, manifests. There is no voice to speak of, as Aeons do not speak. They send images of thought and they convey meaning directly to your minds. But the meaning you get is, we have agreed to adjudicate. We are here to ensure fairness, equality, and balance. We can no longer ignore the fate of this world. We left it to the travelers. But we see now that was a mistake, while it is still governed by you. You will never allow them to govern it. So we must settle this first. This world, while itself has no more significance than any other in the great scheme of the multiverse, it has begun to infect other worlds. We have noticed Aura manifesting elsewhere, and it has consequences. And that word consequences like echoes the meaning of consequences. You see the shattering of worlds, the darkening of stars, the implosion of galaxies as the word consequences echoes. You see, Peria, you see wars fought on an intergalactic scale of warriors in Aura plate. You see essentially like the visions of what could be if all worlds eventually develop Aura, if it becomes ubiquitous through the multiverse, of how chaotic and catastrophic it could be if this power becomes commonplace.
Chris is full.
Really? It was gonna come up either way, but it's a great tie-in. It's a great tie-in. I love it, honestly.
Tie-in.
So, we have come to hear your proposals. But know that if none meet our standards, we will take matters into our own hands once again. You see Varys kind of looks concerned. That was not what we agreed upon. I asked you only to come and make sure this was fair. You see the Pleroma's faceless head turns to regard her. What we determine is fair. Is fair. You hear Kite go, well done, sister. You brought destruction right to our door after I worked so hard.
To mess it.
Very well. Since you're back now, I have a proposal as well. Kite gestures to the group. I propose, why don't we let the game just continue as is? We acknowledge Castellus as my apostle, as he has always been. Odias, you have your Dane. We'll see which one's better. The Order of Invillis, or a kingdom. Odias steps forward. Bring it. Let's like kind of lean across the table at each other. And if we're so concerned about Amita's involvement so far, she can choose an apostle. Felix come to the table. Wouldn't that be interesting? Amita goes, I don't want to involve more people in this. That's not what I'm here for. And that doesn't account for Varys. The Pleroma goes, proposal has been heard. Next. Amita goes, okay, fine. Fine. This game was flawed from the start, and it's left too many loopholes to be abused. The fate of this world should not be decided by the whims of the aspects of Invillis. So I propose, why don't we all just leave? We can all just leave Elcast, and we can work together on making a new world. One that appeals to all of our interests. Elcast and its people, our children, are innocent, and they don't deserve this grief of our family feud any longer. Roma regards Amita. Proposal heard. Next. And you see Odias goes, okay, fine. Fine, we can try that. With what power, though, Amita? What building blocks are left? We used them all for this one. Any world we could make without dismantling this one first will be so much lesser, and you know it. That's the whole point of why we're here. Which is why this game should immediately end right now. Aeon! So like, see the Pleroma turns to Odias. I command you to see the fairness in this. I obeyed every rule set forth. I have done all that we agreed. I've legitimately earned this victory. And if it pleases my sisters, some of you can help me in the new world I will be making. I'll take your considerations in. Amorai. We've had our differences, but love and hate aren't that different. It's just an extreme form of passion to one end or the other. You can help. The last two apostles. What do you say? And Ayusti. I have nothing wrong with what you've done. Perhaps a world of love, hatred, and justice is just what we need. People can love who they want, kill who they want, and figure out the difference between them. What do you say? Ayusti just kind of like takes it into consideration, considering she was the first one out of the game. He's like, Roma nods. Proposal heard. Varys goes, since I'm the one who summoned you here, and I have a proposal, I'd hope you'd hear mine first, but apparently all my sisters are impatient. I have considered every aspect of this matter, including the feelings of those who have, like myself, perhaps been wronged by the turn of events in this game. The game as it is should be scrapped, like pointing to Amida. But a new rule set established. The remaining participants. Unfortunately, Kite's involvement has gone on too far. Unless we started over altogether, there's no way to discount the Auroracle's involvement. So I say, yes, fine. Castellus be made an official apostle. He's already acting in the capacity of one anyways. It doesn't change much. And although I would like to give my apostle a second chance, it's too late as I've already bonded myself to another. Technically acting as her patron now. Vivian should be made my apostle. You see, Kite steps in, but you can't. We already discussed why Mentis shouldn't have had the star-marked soul as an apostle. We're not going to allow that to happen again. That's clever of you, though. But no. Ferris goes. Which is why we will need a new star-marked. One who has been preconditioned to accept the power of Invillis. A vessel born of aeonic energy, who has already had one of the aspects within them before. Puts a hand on Peria's shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Peria should be named Star-Marked Soul instead. And you see Vivian immediately stands up. Absolutely not! That's not fair to either of us! See, the Pleroma, puts a hand to Vivian. And you see Vivian is, almost, forced back into her seat. The proposal is still being heard. Continue. With Castellus joining as an official apostle, Vivian gaining official apostle status again through me, as I am already acting as her patron, and Peria returning to the game, but now as the star-marked soul, this will lead to the least changes to the current status quo. I get another chance. Fight gets a legitimate claim to the game, because apparently we never thought of that. And Odias, you're still in the running. Doesn't change anything, really, for you. And if Amita really did want an apostle, though she does not, I would say allow her to choose one as well. Amita,
no.
reconsider.
Please don't. Please don't. Let's not get Felix. I don't think we can.
The final fight is just Vivian versus Felix, and it's Vivian hitting Felix 1,000,000 times, doing no damage. Literally.
He has one glowing weakness.
That's true. Banishment.
Yeah.
Varys looks to Amita, though. But since I know you don't want that, and I want to make sure everyone feels this is fair and balanced, I want to honor your wishes, elder sister. So I hereby swear that if Vivian wins, I will not change Elkest one bit. My change to the world will be no change. See, Kite goes, well, that's not the point. The whole point is we're trying to remodel the world because, you see, he says, because Kite broke it. Varys, I understand what you're trying to do, but the only reason we're not hearing out, elder sister, is because it's not possible. The world needs to be remade. Varys goes, I don't believe it does. At first when I joined the game, I thought that was the only option. But something I have learned is that my version of truth may not be universal. Let's say, fine, it's broken. The world will break. It will be destroyed. It will be unmade. So be it. But let's give the people of this world the chance to fix it themselves. And if it ends, it ends. I feel like everyone kind of it's almost like none of them had considered the prospect of giving up the world for a moment.
Stubborn.
Amita goes, as the first aspect of us that formed, I am in agreement with Varys. The natural order should be maintained. This world was not made to be our playground. It was made to be our treasure. We were all seeking companionship. We were seeking people. We weren't seeking toys. I support Varys' proposal. Above my own. The Pleroma nods. proposal has been heard and has been seconded. Therefore, we shall go forward, acting as judge, jury, and executioner if necessary. We shall now move towards a vote. On the table is Varys's proposal for how to restore this game to its proper order. However, we do not sense a unanimous discussion yet, a unanimous agreement in the discussion yet. Therefore, there will be a chance for those of you who have a problem with it to choose the alternative. If the majority stands against this proposal, then the slate will be wiped clean by the monad. We shall resume our destruction of Elcast,
Oh, shit.
and once the world is fully unmade, you will all be given the materials back to remake it however you see fit. You see everyone kind of looks a little bit like pensive, and there's a little bit of that feeling of like, well, that's not what we want either.
That's a not
Okay.
choice, but okay.
It's kind of a not choice, but you do see some of them contemplating it. Especially you see Ayusti, who was first out of the game. In fact, you see the left half of the table without even an insight check. The three who have lost and are dead and have no chance. As soon as Plormus finishes speaking, they are considering that option. You can tell.
Mm. Hmm.
An even number.
As this is Varys's proposal, she is exempt from voting, so
Oh,
as to
shit.
also avoid a split tie.
No! Oh no!
Voters for this shall be Ayusti, Odias, Amorai, Fidea, Mentis, Kite, Amita. All for Varys's proposal. And you see there's a silence. And slowly you see Amita, a hand goes up. You see Mentis, hand goes up.
Mm.
2 votes for. Votes.
Ethereal's name is. Where'd she go?
Which name?
Fidea? Fidea?
Fidea, yes.
Fidea, you agree, right?
Huh? Sorry?
You agree, yeah?
Okay. Deception or persuasion, whichever you're trying to go for more here.
I
That's
think she
fine.
would agree.
That's hilarious. 24. Wow. Wow.
Oh god.
Bold indeed.
Do a roll real quick. I gotta do a roll. She is a god, but that's funny.
Look, I'm gonna try everything.
Oh, that's good.
Mm.
Oh, of course, yes. I'm paying attention. I'm always paying attention. That is 3 votes for. you kind of like hear Varys kind of chuckle.
Mm.
I'm so...
Votes against Varys's proposal. You see immediately Ayusti puts a hand up, and Amorai sheepishly puts a hand up. Okay. You see, those 2 put a hand up. Amorai and Ayusti. 2 against. However, Odias, right. You have not cast your vote yet. You see both of them are like contemplating. Odias is kind of like rubbing the table a little bit, like looking like directly at the table. Kite is
Pull the pride.
looking at Peria and Vivian.
Pull the pride card. Pull the pride card.
What do you think, Odias? Kite leans over the table to Odias.
We're weak.
I think this is all bullshit. Because I followed every rule. I chose a leader of a nation who had only love in his heart at the time we met. I have a condition.
Okay.
She comes over and she leans over Peria.
Oh, fuck.
I know what you're trying to do. And I know what you are, Breaker. You make an oath here before the Pleroma, with the guarantee that if she should break it, the Aeons will involve themselves. You stay away from my apostle. And I'll agree.
Look up Ferris. Thoughts?
Varys just kind of like kind of shrugs.
Non-committally?
Yeah.
Thanks, girl. Back to Odaya.
Who is a little closer now as you turn back, like right here in front of you. Her eyes are searing. As you look into her eyes, you can just see the heat death of the universe in her retinas of just like, unmake everything you are.
Just me. And can you please define stay away so everything is very clear?
You do not
Okay.
make Dane like you. I know. He came to you. Not stupid. You found a way out. He's trying to find a way out. I will not be cheated like Varys.
Do I want to put my hand up? I, Imperia Knight, Sovereign, promise not to make Dane like me by using a phoenix feather.
Or any other method.
Okay, and any other method that may or may not exist.
He looks to the Pleroma. Looks back to Kite.
No crossies.
No crossies, but your legs are crossed. No.
My toes! I got my toes!
You see Kite goes, that's very entertaining and all, but what the hell? Turns out I hate the Aeons more than any of you. And you see Odias and Kite both put their hands up 4.
It's actually
Roma
5.
nods.
We got 5.
Wait, what are we agreeing to?
Murdering Dane. That's what we're agreeing to.
Well,
Just
also,
murder. Normal murder.
Peria cannot do it.
I know. That's what I said. My name.
Odias did have an oversight on that one.
She sure did.
He's a little narrow focused on that.
That's fine.
Because you're the only one who's found a way to do that so far. The Pleroma kind of like floats up slightly and gestures to Varys. Varys' proposal has been Brain immediately
Approved?
after talking for an hour. Has been accepted. Jesus. Can't do this yet. I can't do this yet. I've got so much more talking today. Brain, you need to get back in the game. Hydrate. Hydrate.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Not good, Becky. I have so much talking to do today.
I haven't even said a word, so.
I know. That's the problem.
I thought
I need to get to you guys.
I thought Felix was gonna be here for a hot second there.
Felix is gonna go, whoop!
Yeah.
Almost a possibility.
I thought I was gonna be like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
am I here? What's going on?
Oh no.
Varys' proposal has been accepted by majority vote. Therefore, from this moment forward, the remaining apostles in the game, Dane as hatred, Castellus as knowledge, and Vivian as truth. You see, as soon as that finishes, like Vivian, who seems to have been like struggling a little bit to stand back up, it's almost like she gets like released from whatever the problem was. It was like, okay, don't do that again. I object to all of this. This is a court, right? I object. So Parma looks back to her, and you see Vivian like stares down the blank face of an Aeon. It's like, you don't scare me, okay? Be a little. Listen, okay, fine. I'll be the apostle of truth if that's what we have to do to move forward. But my current position puts me at an extreme disadvantage that I know Kite considered before accepting this. Kite goes, I don't know what you'd be talking about, dear. I will no longer have the protection of being the star-marked soul. And so, I'm currently in the fucking Order of Invillis, working under the new Apostle of Knowledge.
Yep.
He controls an entire organization of cutthroats, of assassins, of spies, and I'm in the middle of it right now. I will be dead by morning if we go through with this. You see, Castellus, for the first time in a while, speaks. My dear daughter, how dare you think so little of me? I would never. Don't give me that. You would absolutely. The only reason you've even kept me alive to this point is because I was the star marked and you needed me. No, I can't agree to this unless we have some sort of addendum or something. I will be dead tomorrow. I will wake up to a host of guards at my door, I promise you. If you care about fairness, hear me and my objection. See,
Second.
Aroma. Second. See, Amita. Third. Varus fourth. See, Varus goes fourth. Medea. What? Yes, of course. See, Varus like nudges Peria and looks down at you with a small smile, like, good idea. Aroma puts one of its hands up. The apostles' objections have been heard. Very well. An addendum shall be made. Vivian's status as an apostle will not take effect until either Dane or Castellus are first slain. And at that time, then Vivian shall enter the game as apostle once more. If Vivian should be slain before that time, the apostle responsible for her death will be disqualified immediately, and the remaining apostle immediately made winner. Vivian goes, okay, that's a start, but it doesn't account for death outside of the apostle's direct action. Castellus, as I said, controls an entire secret society. He just has to give one order to another person who gives an order to another person. Next thing you know, it's not really Castellus killing me, but someone hired by him. That doesn't account for all the different loopholes that we know Kite loves so much. Peria, you can see Vivian's expertise in her field coming to terms here. As Peria is a warlock, and Vivian's a warlock, you know the art of negotiating a contract that's stacked against you.
Second.
Just a little bit.
The Pleroma seems to regard her again. Very well. In that case, Vivian shall be placed under the protective watch of an Aeon until the time you inherit your status as an apostle. If we determine your death or detainment has been even indirectly caused by another apostle's actions, orders, or allies, the Aeon will interfere and disqualify that apostle immediately. Conversely, if you take any action that results in the harm or detainment of another apostle before that time, this protection will immediately be made null and void. Does that satisfy you? Vivian looks over to Varus and Peria. Varus looks over and gives like a small nod.
nod back of like, seems good. The lawyers agree.
Yeah, Varys, who is very much like the
The
lawyer
lawyer.
here. Varys and Ayusti are very much like the lawyers. Vivian goes, all right. Yes. Thank you. It puts me more at ease. As she like locks eyes with Castellus across the table at the other end. And you see Castellus has like a small...
Good.
This sounds perfectly agreeable. I would never dare to harm my dear daughter until it was absolutely necessary. I can't think why you would believe I would. Really, dear. You wound your dear father. Vivian goes, You know, the only good thing about this is, now I have a good reason to kill you. Aroma turns to gesture to Kite and to Amita. Is this agreeable to all present? It's a kind of a murmuring of agreement from everyone. And Kite is like, there is one last thing. Our dear eldest sister hasn't been accounted for. She's currently masquerading as a cleric, I believe, in the Holy Land.
This is a cute old lady.
Yes. Are we going to continue allowing that involvement? You can't say that doesn't show some form of favoritism. Varys speaks up. The Holy Land is not currently affiliated with a specific apostle. Her involvement doesn't seem to have anything. Kite goes, oh, please, you know the moment she gets the chance, Vivian's going to be running home to this one, pointing to Peria. If you think Amita won't have any involvement there, you're lying or daft. Sister, I need some assurance you're not going to make this unfair. Unless, of course, you are more than welcome to throw your hat in the ring. Choose an apostle and actually have a stake in this. Knight goes, no. But I would like to remain not involved in the game, but I need to keep you in balance, sister. The Kite kind of... So what then? Floroma, what do you think fair? The Aeon gestures to Kite and Amita again. Last addendum. Amita shall be permitted to remain on Elcast, granted that she makes no actions or suggestions, indirect or otherwise, that aid or harm one of the remaining apostles. She too shall be monitored by an Aeon, and if any action is made that seems to directly involve herself in the remaining apostle game, then an apostle shall immediately be made ready for her, and she shall be made an immediate entry. See, Amita goes, no, I don't. You see, like, Plurima, like, there's like a moment where you all get a flash of like various faces, and then it settles on Felix's face. Surrogate apostle is determined. If Amita makes any action that involves herself directly in the game henceforth, Felix Tiergard shall enter the game as the Apostle of Fortune. Amita kind of slumps in her chair. I won't do anything. I just want to make sure my sister doesn't get ahead of herself. I accept. Aroma turns back to Varys. The proposal is accepted. The addendums have been made. With this, once everyone has awoken from this meeting, the Apostle Game shall officially resume.
Oh my god.
We wish you all the best of whatever luck you may have. With that, the pleroma glitches out of reality again. The weird chill in the air dissipates. And there is a silence over the table. Amita kind of like sits herself up. Very well. This is the path we have all chosen. I see Amorai steps up from Tark. He's like, well, it's a bit boring. I guess I'm still out then. Fine. Come along, dear. I have a few things to teach you. But I'm not going with you. No. I have an objection too. I can do that, right? It's a court. And you see they both disappear.
Ended, bruh.
The Zonatech stands up, kind of like adjusts his not real clothes. You know, this is just an illusion. Well, it was interesting being pulled out of the void for this little tete-a-tete, but it's time to go back to my eternal damnation. I wish you all the rotten hell. Just walks away. See, Fidei goes, is it over? Are we done? Oh.
Great job.
It was so good seeing you all again. Whoever you are. And then she disappears.
Oh my god.
Whoever you are.
She's
I like
the
her.
best one, hands down.
Yes,
100%.
yes.
I used to... This isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but I feel it is fair enough.
Justice.
Right. Dias, Varus. Good luck. And whatever you make of this husk of a world afterwards, I look forward to seeing how it goes. Come now, child. Back to damnation. Sorry, wait, I'm sorry. So I'm dead. I still haven't really kind of wrapped my... The last thing I remember... Okay, can anyone tell me? I was on a train and they both disappeared.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God.
Poor Jamat.
Dias just like grabs Dane's arm and like lifts him out of the chair. Dane, by the way, this whole conversation has been like in a bit of a daze. It's just like, come on, you. We have work to do. And Kite. Dias points to Kite. Don't think I don't realize what you're playing at here. The moment we wake up, every member of that little cult of animosity, their head's gonna be on a pike.
Yeah.
Kite,
I didn't say that out loud.
you see Kite looks a little bit like, damn, she caught that. Well, that's up to you. I mean, I sent them to be helpful. And it! She like walks away and drags him into like just ether.
God, I got our mother away.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's gonna have to be some stuff going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
You see, Mentis walks up. I know you're not my apostle anymore, but just wanted to say you did a great job while I had you, and good luck with Varus. I think if anyone else, Varus is a good choice. Varus she's a good sort. You'll be okay. Vivian goes, thanks, I guess. Kind of walks over. Good seeing you again, Amita. And then just sort of vanishes. Varus just kind of stands next to Peria and then like looks down at you, gives you a small smile, and then sidesteps over to Vivian.
No,
Then
wait.
there were three.
Move it out of my way. Shove her out of the way.
You shove Varus out of the way.
I'm gonna embrace Vivian.
Vivian
and-
takes you
yeah.
in her arms as well.
Oh.
You see, as you're hugging, Vivian just kind of like nuzzles in a bit. It's like, I'm so sorry you're the Star Marked now. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want to just hand it
Oh, it's
off.
fine. This is fine. This is totally fine. We're gonna be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Varus like adjusts herself to being pushed away. Very fine. I hope you all appreciate what I just did for you.
Yes, we do. Thank you. You're the greatest.
Neither of you have to worry about the whole star marked thing. All I have to do is win.
Yeah.
As long as Vivian is the last apostle remaining, there won't be any need of a star marked soul because I'm not going to change anything. And you hear a scoff from the other end of the table. Oh, sister. Sister, you think there's any chance in any reality you have of winning? You may have argued for a few addendums, Vivian, but you're still mine, one way or another. If I have to delay it until later, fine. Changes very little. Don't forget all of the pieces are in my hand. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. Our hand. She gestures to Castellus. Maita kind of just shakes her head. I don't know what happened to you, Kite. You weren't like this before. You weren't so cruel. Honestly, I just wanted this whole experience behind us. We could move on together. We need to learn to just let go. See, Kite interjects. I can't do that because I'm not done yet. My great works are only half finished.
Oh, Lord.
I have put too much investment in this world to let go. And it's so easy for you to say, Amita. You've put so little effort into this world. Barely yours at all. But I'll let you keep dreaming, if that's what you want. Vivian, sorry, Exarch, Vi, don't forget. You have a very important assignment coming up. Since we can't hurt each other, he looks down to Castellus and he goes, quite right. Since we are forced allies, anyways, and you are my daughter besides, I hope you will still keep your end of the bargain and delve into the ruins. For the greater good, see. Vivian goes, I'll consider it. But only because whatever I find in there might be more beneficial for us.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you'd like to finally admit why you need me to go in there.
Yeah.
Both Castellus and Kite look at each other. You can almost hear Kite, you just barely hear her go, I told you your daughter was too clever for her own good. Before they both... You see Amita sighs. Finally feels like I can breathe. Every time we have a family meeting, it gets so... Well, you know. Aria, Vivian. Very good to really finally meet you two.
Likewise?
Vivian goes, I'm still kind of... I know it's a bit late at this point, but I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that we're talking to the gods that we were taught to worship. This is very strange.
Yeah.
You're all so much more dysfunctional than I expected you to be. It's just it's sad, but it's all too true. I'm afraid. I thought we could take some time before you wake up, and I'd be happy to answer whatever I can.
Yeah.
Here's the Q&A portion.
Okay.
Mm.
So, quick question. Is everyone gone? Is it just us? Can they still hear what's going on in here?
No, they seem to have gone. Keep in mind, the long time doesn't really work.
Sure.
See, Varys goes, there's going to be a time lapse when you wake up.
That's
but
fine. He needs a few days. Hopefully.
3 months.
Oh god.
You're on an IV drip, okay? We're keeping you alive.
Divine initiative. Will it work?
Amita goes, I think so.
Okay.
No need.
we do that? After Vivian wins?
So
Venus wins?
the problem
Phoebe?
is my sister locked the divinity drive with all the sparks in it until after the apostle game is completed, and unless we can figure a way to open it sooner, it's going to have to wait. You do remember, Soren told you the divinity drive opens when the eclipse happens, which the eclipse happens after
somebody wins.
apostle games. Right.
Great. So after that, follow through and just. Okay, great. Just want to check that off the list. Okay.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. It's just that my sisters are so. You see, Varys kind of steps in. When Kite created that, I think she had this idea of her being the ultimate god over those new ones.
Yeah.
They would just be there to help structure her new world. Nobody wants to give up this world to some new deities. But I suppose, Elder, Varys turns to Amita, we are in agreement then. Yes, I believe so. We may be the only two of us that actually care about this world at this point. It's okay if we're not controlling it anymore, as long as it thrives.
Done and done. Okay. And then how long does when does the eclipse start? How much time do we have? Like, does it matter anymore now that Varys is going to win and not destroy the world?
That would be up to the apostle who did win, how quickly they could enact their plans. To clarify, the reason we need to unmake Elcast is because the world was technically formed when it was just me and Kite. The two of us, using half of Invillis' power each. But the more of us that propagated, the more of us that formed, that split off, the more our power divided until now each of us has an eighth. Since we all can't agree on what to do next, we need to essentially think of Elcast as a world built of building blocks. And we don't have any more blocks. We need to take the ones apart and rebuild it. After the last apostle is left, they will begin to reclaim those building blocks. Depending on how much they want to change, if they plan for the world to be completely remade, it could take months. But since Varys doesn't have any plans of changing anything, indefinitely.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. Okay.
Keep in mind that does mean. And see, Varys goes, yes, that we do have to be careful. The eclipse will. The moons are artificial. They're not actually in orbit. They're sentries, sentinels of sorts. The eclipse initiates the sequestration of our world from the aeons. And it will mean the eclipse will endure until the apostle is finished. Months without sunlight could cause some issues.
Sure.
So we will have to take that into consideration.
We'll be quick. Okay, save teleport spells. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And then, so we're planning on using the emissary and the void as our afterlife for the bad. Objections, bad ideas? Great, good. What do you think?
See, like, Varys and Amita kind of look at each other, and you give an insight check real quick.
I'd love to. Insight. Oh my gosh. Give me the tea.
Natural 20. Okay. So, there is a look between Varys and Amita right now. When you mentioned the emissary, that is partly... God, it's so hard to say. It's like you're talking about... This is a weird analogy
The
almost,
boogeyman.
but a little bit of the boogeyman, but also like an old roommate they used to have that like they both have like a history with, and they're like, oh, that guy.
Okay.
Like as soon as you mention the emissary.
Not a
But
good.
there's also a little bit of concern. Yeah, it's mostly like a problematic previous acquaintance.
Got it. Problem. The roommate that never did the dishes. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. And you see Amita speaks up. The emissary, as they like to call themselves, is just an extension of the void. The void is a much more complicated topic for another day. It extends across all worlds, and
That's terrifying.
technically speaking, it's the part of the worlds that isn't.
Cool.
It's hard to describe. When you see Virus kind of like clears her throat as if she's like reciting something. In the beginning of all, there was darkness. Not a metaphorical or symbolic darkness, but a pure and vastly empty void of dark. It is unknown to even the oldest of gods and most primal of beings as to when exactly life began. But at some point before time was told, we were made. In the void. In the nothing. The emissary is not the entity that controls the void. They're just a messenger. Consider them to be like a tendril, reaching out to probe at the realities around them to determine potential weaknesses in the structures. We're getting into some things that you may not understand, but imagine your world is a glass shell filled with water. The void, the emissary of the void, is trying to make cracks in that shell. Find a way to let the water leak out, or the air leak in. Giving the emissary a spark shouldn't lead to anything catastrophic. But if you're trying to use this as the counterbalance to a pantheon of good aligned deities, there's not many better options.
Great.
The Aeons will probably accept that as a counterbalance.
Great.
But I caution you against any deals with such an entity. They don't have a concept of morality.
No, they do not.
So lies don't exist to them. They say whatever they wish. They make whatever promises they need to fulfill their agenda. Any current deals or bargains you may have with them, there is very little reason for them to uphold their end unless you have something over them, such as the spark, potentially.
Great. Okay. Noted. Okay. Rapid fire questionings. So what happens if I die now?
Oh, yes.
Does that happen now? Or does it happen when she becomes an apostle?
When you awaken, you won't feel any notable difference.
Okay.
However, you're going to want to keep a piece of mercuriolite on you. Remember how Vivian had her necklace?
Oh, great.
In the event of the death of a star-marked soul, their being is crystallized into the nearest vessel.
Okay.
And you can be returned. But it takes time and it takes energy.
Lots of work.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not easy to bring you back. In fact, I would wager that if you died again, you would not return in time for the end of the Apostle War. It took how long for Vivian to regain consciousness? Months?
A long time. Maybe it's like a year.
Close to it.
Yeah. Okay. Noted. Don't die.
Ideally, but if it's any consolation, you're effectively immortal as the Star-Marked Soul, as we need you for the game.
Okay.
But your death would just mean you are kind of in timeout until the game's over.
And then once the game's over, can I not be immortal?
Oh yes, no, that will fade.
Oh,
See, as she's like cut off mid-sentence, she's that will fade when we part.
okay. Cool. That's fine. All right. I didn't go through my questions. I don't think there's anything else that wasn't already answered or pertinent.
This is a good opportunity if there is anything. I'll try to answer things when I'm Helena, but I have to be very careful
Sure.
as I will be monitored. And anything I say that I don't want to involve poor Felix in this.
Yeah.
I don't
And
want to
then-
make you two have to kill each other.
Do we need to tell Felix about things?
It would be wise to inform him,
Okay. I'll let him know. I'll break the news.
just so he's
Felix, you're subbed.
substitute,
Yeah.
substitute, not submissive and breedable. Substitute.
No, substitute. Oh my god, I wasn't even
When
thinking
you're
that.
sub, I was like, whoa.
Oh. I didn't
What?
even got
Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it, AJ.
there. Okay.
You pure
Got it.
soul.
Check. Okay. All right. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
Man, why can't why does this have to be a chess game? Can't this be like a fucking checkers or some shit?
oh, man.
You know?
That would be easier.
Gosh.
Okay. All right.
All these bishops and pawns and horses.
Okay.
Oh, only a few pieces have been moved.
Do you know where my cousin is, Renault?
Uh,
Do you know where he's at? He's been kidnapped.
despite people's
Just wondering.
beliefs, I'm not really omniscient in that
Okay, that's
regard.
fair.
If I was back in my domain, not here, yes, I could, but then we also wouldn't be able to talk like this.
That's fair.
Much more.
My brain would explode or something. You know?
It's much more
That's not-
complicated. I can send messages in terms of the blooming of a rare flower or the appearance of an endangered species. You know, signs, omens. I could send those.
Okay.
It's so complicated. Severus goes, it's so complicated.
Okay, all right.
The rules are so stringent for the discussion between mortal and immortal.
Oh, I have one more question that is maybe you may or may not know the answer to. So, Ein now can cure the mark. Yay.
Oh yes, of course. I had no idea. Severus goes,
So if he just dies for some reason, is brought back to life, would he be able to cure the merc again?
so long as his aura was not taken or damaged. If he died
But-
to Merc, that would be catastrophic.
Okay.
But,
But if he
well,
like
just
the aura changed his
well,
aura?
you've died and your aura has returned.
Oh, that's
The
true.
aura is attached in a way. Auras and souls are different entities, but they are attached. They're intertwined.
Okay.
So long as nothing happened to his soul, or he was not afflicted with the Merc,
Okay.
he should be able to return with it intact. Yes.
Great. Good to know. Can he do that forever now? Or is this like a one-time thing?
No, he has unlocked the depths of White Aura through a combination of the great work my sister did in her attempt to overcome decay, and some of the works of my son, Bartoon. He has imbibed a substance that allows him to tap into the purest form of White Aura. And more than that, he started to actually believe in himself. It's important.
It's important. What reagent is Merc like? Is the monk's blood, oil, essence, byproduct is what's murking people? Is that a true statement? I guess is that. How do we get rid of?
From what I can tell, it looks like those monks have found a way through apotheosis to further metabolize aura. Whereas Elkin, like you, Aura is... What's the word for it? Other words. Severus goes, radiation. That's what other worlds call it, radiation. Yes, that's right. Other worlds refer to aura as a form of radiation, which can kill quite easily. It's a bit of a poison in some worlds. But it can also do incredible good if used right. It's a byproduct of ether taken into the body and metabolized. The monks seem to have found a way to do the same for decay. I don't like to use this word, but it's almost like a waste product, I believe, for them. Some sort of byproduct for the use of aura. Instead of accumulating decay, they gather it in some form of collectible source. I don't know all the specifics, but it seems to be the monks themselves may be producing the fluid.
Okay. Okay, they're on
I
our side
apologize.
now.
I don't know the details.
Okay. No, it's fine. Alright, that's fine. Cool. I don't think I have anything else to ask at this point in time.
Very well.
Hey, what about you? Do you have any questions you want to ask?
No,
Also-
you've covered most of it, but
I can do
Okay, do you-
teleportation circles now. And we have their secret code book, so we can figure out how to get you out.
good, because that might be important, because...
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a question for them, but I do have a question for you.
Oh yeah.
Do you think I should go through with this mission? For whatever reason, Stellis or Kite needs me to go into the ruins of Cortus. At first I thought it was because I was a star-marked soul and maybe that gave me some sort of protection, but now I'm thinking there's something more to it. He told me he's already cracked the seal on the place, and whenever I'm ready, we can go in. I can't imagine why he needs me unless there's something, maybe like a hereditary seal or something. Maybe that's why he chose Peridia's bloodline. I don't know. But now that we have the protection of the Aeons, so he can't even indirectly screw me over, I feel even more protected going in there. If he still wants me to go in there, that must mean he doesn't have an ambush ready. He actually needs me to even get in. And maybe I can find something in there that we could use. Whatever it is he's looking for, I could get it. But of course, he's going to probably figure something else out. Do you think it's worth the risk?
Well, does Barry know how the Tarrasque came to be, and how the first group did an oops, and
Yeah.
that was deep underground?
Yes, you do
and
know the
released
oopsie.
it? Okay, I do know the oopsie. Okay. Oh, well, so just be careful, because the Tarrasque also lived in an underground sealed thing, and that was very bad. So I don't know if that level of threat, if it were to endanger you, if something happened to you and you died, if the Castellus would then be disqualified. That's just one thought. Also, who are you going with? Just Castellus?
Okay, so I have an idiot that I've chosen. I have a mercenary that I've chosen who
Okay.
seems to be... I could probably buy him off.
Okay.
There's someone who hates Kite, I think. It has some connections to another exarch that screwed them over. I think I can get them on my side.
Okay.
And then the fourth
Okay.
one is kind of interesting. I really don't know about her yet, but she's promising, and I think I can either turn them or kill them
Okay.
easily if need be.
Okay. Alright. So you're feeling pretty good then.
I've been choosing them specifically for the fact that I think either they're sketchy on the order
Okay.
or killable in a moment.
Okay. But not so killable that they would just
They're going to
immediately...
die. No, yes, no.
Yeah.
It's going to
Okay.
require... I've
That
learned
nice
a few new things. Yes, I've
Oh.
got a few new tricks up my sleeve that...
Okay.
But we'll see. Funny talking to you guys about that.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, if I
I know which one I am.
are you the idiot?
I also know which one I
I know what you could be talking about.
No.
Mm.
I didn't later realize that my name sounds that last part of my name oddly sounds close to Viscar. No.
It does actually. It's a little Viscary, yeah.
I-
A little bit.
am.
I'm the idiot.
A little Viscary.
Anyways.
I think at this point you feel pretty good about it. I feel good with your judgment, as always. I think you should go for it, but just be careful. Can you have like, I don't know, like a get out of jail free card? We don't know. Never mind. That was a bad reference because I don't play Monopoly. What's Monopoly?
Area, there are no such
Cards.
things in life. You can't just get out of jail for free. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Why would I say such
Oh,
a
let me
ridiculous
bust
free
yourself
parking.
out.
Yeah. What is parking? No.
I have
Contingency
some.
planned.
Yes, I have contingency prepared.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll figure out a location to come pick you up, I guess.
Varys leans in and says, "This is all very nice. You've lost an extra 2 days in this conversation."
Okay. Bye.
Hmm.
As Varys
Had a
then
feeling.
disappears. Maita goes, 2 days. Oh, the timer started when they. Oh God! It's like a made up mind. It disappears. Then there was us. So
I guess we should go.
I'll see you soon. As soon as
Yes.
this mission's done, I'm coming straight home to you.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon. Stay safe.
How does this work? Do I just be like, wake up now? Awake. Awaken.
Clap off.
Slaps yourself and disappears.
Oh, that's how you do it.
And you as well, as you all vanish from the room. And
Oh man.
we're gonna need to take a quick break. I know AJ at least didn't eat, and I ate a while ago.
Yeah,
So
sounds
we're gonna need to
good.
take a quick break here as we hit the soon. Well, no, that's like I said, 2 hours. Like I said, 2
Yep,
hours.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Jesus.
Huh,
All right. So
huh.
we're gonna be stopping by I think like 8:30 tonight. I believe.
Yeah, that's
So
the goal for
let's
Becky.
do. We'll resume at 6, and the last 2.5 hours will be the remainder of this. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alrighty.
That we will return back to Vaperia passing out.
Yes. Yes.
I'm awake.
Back from our break, the party. So, tiny time skip has happened. It's been 3 days since the ball.
Oh shit.
But after, so it, kind of going backwards a little bit. Immediately following Peria and Helena passing out, you guys were moved to a place to rest. Magic was cast to determine what's going on. It was found that you were basically stable but sleeping and could not be woken for whatever reason. After maybe a day or so, you guys returned from the capital to Renati via various transportations. Dior has basically ordered everyone to be on standby until you and Helena's situation can be determined. And if there's anything you guys, the rest of the party, wanted to accomplish during the last 3 days specifically, we can get to that now. But for the most part, Dior has given out the order that we need to talk. There needs to be a group meeting with everyone present to determine what to do moving forward as soon as the situation has stabilized, whatever that may be with Peria and Helena. For the most part, Ein has sat by Peria's bedside for the last 3 days, trying to, at first, do some ministration with Aura, making sure it's not some sort of merc thing, you just fought an apostle, after it's determined that it's not. He spends most of his time there. most of like the dignitaries from other places, like everyone from Susail went back to Susail. Everyone went back to where they were supposed to be from. Silben contacted in to let you know that your mother Elonea is safe at his abode. But for the most part, everything's just kind of gone back to status quo until things change. Is there anything you guys really desperately want to accomplish, like within those 3 days on standby?
Just two things that Violet wants to talk.
Sure.
The very first would be Naren.
Okay.
She would tell her everything about the forest and what she learned.
Okay. Do you do that immediately following the
Probably
ball?
the day after Peria passed out.
So, Naren, you find her in her room and you explain all this to her, and she goes, I need to clarify something. How long have you known that my home is dying?
Was still Q.
You've never seen Naren mad before, but this fearable woman who's like covered in fur and looks very friendly gets a huge frown, and you swear it turns a shade of red. And you waited until now? And she just grabs her staff, storms out of the building, and you didn't see her for the next 2 days.
Okay.
As Naren is going to go clean up the mess you guys have left sitting on the back burner in the Great Calciphilian Woods since the Serenitis told you the forest was dying. A long time ago. Aaron, I might be removing from the upcoming meeting. Hold on.
Weird.
Whoop. Bye.
That's funny. Yeah, Naren is effectively out of the campaign for a little while as she is doing the side quest you all decided not to do. For a very long time.
Unfortunately, varying bigger things.
I am not blaming, just stating facts.
The fact is, we didn't fucking do it.
Also,
Yes.
we probably could have said something earlier.
You also could have definitely told Darren a long time ago. Like when you had like a 3-week time skip or something. It's fine. At least you did it now.
The second thing would be she'd call her mother on the Sunday son. Unless she stayed.
No, Orlith left. Orlith was gone in the middle of the battle. Teleport.
Right.
She has not returned yet. You don't know if she's coming back for the meeting or not.
Right. Hey, Mom, just an update. Peria still seems to be out of it.
Yes.
I'll let you know when that changes.
King Dior has kept me appraised of the situation. I can only assume, based on the information that they've provided, might be because she was once an apostle. Don't know.
Maybe. But I wanted to ask, like, what is the state of Susail at the moment like?
Honey, it's been a day.
I don't know.
It's hard to say. From what I've learned, apparently the Verdant Emperor's life was saved by the Golden Clan at the ball, which is remarkable. That was very surprising to learn. I think everything's... Ooh, nice picture. I think everything's stable for now.
Good. As it were, I can't leave here, as I know King Dior is trying to scramble to get everyone to bear, but, but
Yes.
I would like to, if at some point I have a free moment, strike while the iron is hot as it were. And maybe if we can get all the emperors and empresses together at Talos to hopefully discuss moving forward.
I can't say that for them, but if you can arrange that, of course.
I intend to speak to both Quill and Strike as I am sitting, so letting them know my intentions as well. I'm hoping, at the very least, to get the idea in their heads, and maybe the heads of their emperors. But obviously, I won't be able to be there until King Joris said his piece.
Of course.
And hopefully once Perry is awake, of course.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Please do. Keep me updated.
Oh, love you.
Love you.
Yeah, we don't have to roleplay if you don't want to. Just like she would, contact Quill and Strike, mentioning basically what she did to her mother about, hopefully getting a meeting with all the emperors and empresses within the week or so.
You would get a reply that may be difficult, as number one, Takir is on full paranoid, high alert. All engines go for, like, he's sequestered himself deeper within the throne than ever before after what's happened. There is very little chance of him leaving his home for a while, Strike will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But for what it's worth, Strike and Quill will both be at the meeting Dior has coming up as delegates from their representative, their clans they represent.
Good to know. Alright, that's all Violet really wanted then. Otherwise, she'd be keeping an eye on Perry with eyes.
Of course. Anything else anyone wanted to do in those 3 days? If not, it's not a big deal. You can think of stuff later. We can always say later if you come up with ideas you wanted to accomplish during that time, if you have something. But if you have something now,
I don't know.
Okay.
Nothing.
This also accounts for all of your characters that are in Renati, such as, Finn, Tierbrin, Felix.
Not that I can immediately think of.
Okay. If you come up with something later that you wanted to do during those 3 days, we could retroactively say it happened. I mean, you were doing stuff,
Yeah, nothing until knowledge is gained.
I think that makes sense. I think everyone, even the NPCs, are kind of in the same. Everyone's just kind of waiting because there needs to be a conversation to move forward. So, with that, on the third day after the end of the ball, Peria, you find yourself in, I believe, probably would be like the clinic, like Ein's clinic, in a room along with Helena. As you very groggily awaken, you see Ein and Violet sitting by your bedside, and you see Helena kind of sitting up in bed across from you as well, as it seems like the two of you awoke roughly the same time.
How many days has it been since the ball?
Ein was like, "Oh, you certainly slept
my
in.
God.
It's been, what, 3 days now?
Okay, that's not bad. Not bad.
Are you okay?"
Bad.
Yeah, fine. Totally fine.
Okay.
Helena is good. Yes.
She woke up a little bit before you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
She
Cool.
said that you have news for us.
Yeah, we should just all together. I don't want to say all of this twice. It's too much.
That's fair. That's fair. Dior's been waiting anyways, so I probably should go
Oh.
let him know.
Awkward.
Oh, by the way, I can walk around the city now, apparently. Guess all you have to do is, like, save his child or something from imminent death, and you're no longer a prisoner. Oh, no.
Violet report her sitting so to Dior, like, she's awake.
Yeah, immediately. And you get a response. Meeting room, Hegri Manor, 2 hours. You know,
Okay.
get there basically. And everyone begins getting messages.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Well, gotta get something to eat along the way. I'm sure you're very
Oh,
hungry.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I have not been this hungry in a very long time. I'm very thirsty.
Yeah,
Can I have some water?
Helena goes, oh yes, that's for you people. That's right. Oh God. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, I'm
You
so
people.
sorry. For you, mortals.
Mortals, disgusting. You had an IV drip, remember?
Yeah. Beep, beep. Just a little like monitor. Okay.
Magical monitor. Yeah.
As we're
Then,
walking, I'll give like
yeah.
Ein like a side like half hug. Awkward. Good job.
He leans into it a bit and hugs you back. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Had us all really scared.
Nah, it takes more than a migraine to pay. It's fine. I appreciate the thought. Okay. Okay. That's it.
All right. Each of you gets a message from a messenger or sending stone or sending spell to convene at Hegri Manor. There is a meeting room that is usually it's in his office. This seems to be an official like boardroom kind of situation where he can meet with larger amounts of delegates or something of the sort. As you all arrive at this room, you find there are several people who have arrived beforehand, and I will throw us
on the map.
Throw us on the map.
I also give Violet a hug too. I meant to say that.
Of course, of course.
You absolutely hugs you back. Oh, right, I gotta let Mother know.
Yeah, let her know, otherwise she'll be really mad at me. She probably already is. It's fine. Who the heck is that?
Who the heck is who?
Who is this?
Who's who?
Who this?
This
Who's
person. This one.
That? You don't know.
Who is that?
Who's this?
Who are all these people? Oh, that's Kedrick?
Yeah,
that's
used to be.
Kedrick.
Wow.
Yeah, we know Kedrick. We saw his real form. Why is he
Oh, maybe
here?
I just forgot.
That's
Yeah,
a question.
how is he here?
That's a question.
That's exciting.
That's
That happened
Oh,
last
Peria,
episode.
you're awake!
Oh,
I give you a hug. Are you good? Are you
oh, I'm
good?
fine. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Great! We're glad you're back.
Oh, me too.
I thought you weren't going to wake up.
No, just needed a nap. Very long nap.
Very long nap.
As you
Long
guys
rest.
enter, you see Dior at the end of the table. Says, "Good. I'm glad you're all right. Please find a seat for yourselves. We have a lot to get through."
Seats. I guess we're kind of important, right? So we get one of the
We should
main
sit.
seats,
We
right?
should sit towards the front. Yeah.
I'll sit right here, because I'm not as important, but I'm still pretty important.
I'll. Felix, pick a spot so I can sit next to you.
Oh, sure. I'll sit over here so you can sit next to your sister.
Great.
Ah, yes. Am I important? Of course I am.
Of course. You don't get a side bench.
No. I kind of, save the air of a nation. I deserve a front row seat.
You hear Kedrick go, "Well, since there's an open seat, I guess I may as well sit."
1, 2, 3. It's 3 of the gods. 4.
So, as you guys all take a seat and arrange yourselves here, the doors are closed behind and guards file out, leaving everyone to themselves. You see Dior stands at the end of the table, King Dior, and gestures to everyone here. Thank you all for coming on such short notice. I know I've kept most of you on standby for a few days, and I figured it was a good opportunity for us all to speak as one. A few days ago, you don't need me to tell you what happened, but to recount, King Tark Calcifel is no more. With that, what we thought to be the last apostle was defeated. Aria, Helena, should we still keep calling you Helena? Yes, please do, for now. For now. Helena has informed us of the most part what has happened. It sounds like this game is not over yet, and there are a few changes we might need to make to our plans. I have invited some of you from other lands. He gestures to the back. You see Strike and Quill taking a seat in the back on a bench here. To relay any of this as needed to your own emperors, Susail, as we are allied now. I've also asked Silben to join us, as well as Hedrick, I believe. We've met before, but it's been some time. Yes, we've met a bit. King, Lord, Dior, whatever. It's so nice of you to have sent your beautiful wife to fetch me, and thank you so much for the emergency healing, because that was a bit messy. Like, your brain spilled, filling her septic, your brain spilled out the moment you stepped on dry land. It was quite close. Yes, it really was. But I hear that you need a god, so how can I deny the opportunity? Also, it's really good to be on dry land again. I'm so sick of boats. I was also promised a draft of losing my youth. There was a youth drink tossed around before earlier.
Yes.
Where is that?
Yes, we have that for you.
Gimme.
Gimme. Oh.
All right. Here you go. Is this what you want?
You're gonna make me beg, aren't you?
Finn's kind of chuckling under his breath. That's funny to him.
I'm going to check. I think it's a
It's a
roll.
D4 plus something.
Check. Rejuvenating draft legendary. D4 plus. Nope, just a D4. It's only a D4.
Ah.
Ewan doesn't need a whole year anyways.
It's
One, isn't it?
Yeah.
a 1.
Takes a drink and he's like, I don't feel any different. Like, you see, like Rose goes, no, you look so much younger.
Your feathers look brighter.
Do they? Really?
A little bit. Yeah. Finn's totally lying.
Yeah, absolutely. No difference.
I don't think Kedrick wants to insight.
Nah.
He wants to just believe the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dior clears his throat. To the matter at hand. I know most of you have been waiting, and I'd like to keep you apprised of what we've learned over the last few days. Apparently, Helena, whose identity is to be kept. Are you sure I can't tell them? Not that I'm trying to hide anything, I'm just very cautious about what will constitute as undue aid at this point, but if it'll speed things along, I don't mind. And you see she waves a hand and her form does change. And you see there's not really like noticeable, like nobody's like, oh, it's obviously a Mida when they see this, except Silben across the table does sort of sit up.
Someone's
That's what was so different about you. Yes.
What, her hair color?
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to meet all of you. Formally, I am Amita. I hope we
Excuse
can
me,
all
sir.
get along.
What?
Yes.
I thought so.
You're messing with us, King Dior. You're messing with us, right?
I am afraid that there is no joke here. This woman appears to be truly one of the two sisters that formed this. Oh, 8, I suppose we now know. This is indeed Amita Invillis.
Yep.
Just the kind of
Sure.
waves. And you see, like, people across the room are just like, you know.
Finn's in disbelief. He doesn't believe this shit.
Tyrion
He thinks it's
will-
somebody pretending to be a god.
Yeah.
Tyrion will bow his head. Oh, it was a great honor to meet you. Meeting at my side.
Please, no, please. This is why I wanted to just remain Helena, but it's okay. You're right. Dior,
Mm.
this will simplify things. Myself and Haria were in a meeting of sorts with my sisters the last few days. We came to an agreement. The game that we were playing was flawed, and so new rules have been set, and there are some new players. And confirm that Castellus is officially now the Apostle of Kite. And Dane is still in play as the Apostle of Hatred. Now, the Apostle of Truth has returned in the form of Vivian, an associate of Perius within the Order. And Peria has taken up the role of the Star-Marked Soul, which means she is an important aspect of the game that shouldn't really affect our plans very much, but if anything, it means the other apostles may steer clear of trying to harm her. The best
That's
of their
good.
ability. Yes. Fortunately, this meeting was helpful, but it does mean that my sisters are now going to be, I believe, a bit more aggressive. We should expect movement from... I can't say much more. Unfortunately, a condition was placed on my involvement henceforth. I'm not allowed to... I'm not allowed to really help. Unless I want to involve more innocence in the game.
All right.
That's
so
vague.
I
That's
suppose
what Finn said.
All right. Well, Paria, you were there.
Yes, I was, and I have no such stipulations on me. So this is what happened.
Exactly. So everything.
Everything. Everything.
You tell
except
everything.
Except for the
Everything?
Felix part, I want to tell him first, and then let everyone else know.
Okay.
Kind of more of a private conversation.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Dior takes this all in. This makes some sense. Okay.
So,
In addition,
are we not doing the cutting anymore?
No, I think we should still do it. I mean, once the game is over, all of Invillis leaves, and then we're kind of on our own to do what we.
Oh.
you see
wanted
Amita
to.
speaks up, and although I think that would be fine, it would mean that the decay would only get worse over time, and there would be no way to fix it without new gods who can reset or remake the cycle. But take it from someone who's been revered as one for so long. I think you all could take care of this world fine. It just wouldn't last as long as it would with a new set of deities. And that is a bit sad. So I leave it to you. Your decision what you do. Kendra goes, part of this deal is that I get to be a god. I'm not changing that. I would like to still be a god. Just want to make that known. I'm still.
What god are you going to be?
I don't know. We haven't really decided yet. It's supposed to be something magic-y, which I guess is okay. But
Knowledge, you know.
Magic
knowledge. I'm thinking secrets. Maybe I'll be the god of secrets.
Sure. Knowledge, secrets, power.
Well, but you see Sylvan looks over at Kedrick and just kind of like, sure.
Personally, I do feel that our choices and candidates make this still a worthwhile endeavor. Obviously, excluding one in particular who we still need to find anew. Or Angelica looks at Rose. Maybe use our original idea.
Yes. Rose speaks up. I'll be honest, I don't relish the idea of becoming a god. I never really thought of myself like that. But if it's what we need to do, I'll do it.
I'll be a god if you want me to.
You don't mean
I already kind of am.
Don't meet the
What?
criteria. No.
Why not?
Sorry. No.
This is all
Never.
hypothetical anyway.
Not hypothetical. No. No fit.
Finn still doesn't believe he's in a room with a god at all. So he doesn't believe in gods, okay?
Yeah.
He believes in what he sees, all right?
I know, it makes sense. It makes
Manny.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Dior takes this in. We can address the matter of gods as well. As of right now, with Rose electing to take the position of Goddess of Might, kind of gives a nod to her, and you see Rose kind of hesitates before nodding back. Sylben taking the position of God of Life, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Cedric is candidate for God of Knowledge and Magic. I'm still a little unclear on that one. Cedric goes, oh, right. So it's so I have in my home world, I may have stolen the knowledge of all that ever was and has been from a. There was this tree that had all of the knowledge of all time, and I was given a dagger by an old associate, this artifact that can steal memories, and so one might conclude. And see, Sylvan goes, "You didn't." Says, I may have stabbed a tree. Is that a problem, Mr. Druid? Actually, yes, that does sound kind of awful. Hey, and what did I get for it? Infinite knowledge? Maybe. I can't access it is the problem, because every time I do, I start drooling and I think I lose some brain cells. But if I'm a god, then... Rose speaks up. I think it would be a constructive use of his immense knowledge that he can't access yet. That's the only reason I put forward the idea. And Benrick's in agreement. Benrick goes, agreement is a very strong word. I, as one who was chosen by Paylor, I cannot put forward that this man is god material. Kendrick goes, hey, Benny! I have my back in these moments. And Kendrick goes, but I do agree that he meets the criteria enough. And there are various gods that I may not agree with. You see Filianor goes, I feel that. You can almost feel Filianor looking through a window down to the bar. Like, yeah, I don't agree with either.
Yeah, also, is that bitch in consideration? That's what I've heard.
Which one? Who?
The big one.
No.
No, that's
No.
sort of the CTO says she was, but that's a point of discussion today. We will have to get to.
Which is why Rose is replacing her.
Yes.
Oh, I like that very much more. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
your
See that.
gestures to Cloak standing by the side over his shoulder. I believe you are the candidate for Cloak goes God of Death, which is so morbid, but I think I'm the one in the room who's died the most, so maybe the one on the planet who's died the most. So it works. But I'm not going to be like a Grim Reaper, though. I don't want to kill people, but like if I can guide people like a more peaceful death, I think that sounds nice.
We believe that is the position, yes.
I'm kind of with Rose on the whole. Never really thought of myself as like, you know, becoming a. Who ever thinks of that, right?
Well.
See,
You'd be
Kendrick goes.
surprised some people who
Yeah, Finn and him like on the opposite sides. We're both like, well, I mean,
The package.
yeah.
Just voguing.
Just voguing. They
Make sure you get
worship
my good
me
side.
now. Yeah. That does leave one, though. We've already determined life, death, might, and magic. There is the discussion of the god of change.
Oh. I have a nomination, if it pleases everyone. Perry will stand, clear her throat. Well, now, as I am about to share the nominee, I would ask that everyone keep an open mind. And that remember that this is the position of change. And I think that the one that has changed the most in this group is Bradley. 9.
Sure.
Like, all the eyes in the room turn to Ein. He's currently like
Not
holding like a little like bottle, like a little like cup of some sort of like alcohol he hasn't been able to have in like months. He's like, I'm sorry, what was that? What? Someone say my name?
I
like your
nominate you
thinking.
for change.
What?
Yep.
I second that vote. You.
You see Dior looks over to Filianor, and you see Filianor just kind of like,
Yep.
What? No one else? Really?
Open
Apparently he was
minds.
this dastardly villain before, but now he's actually saving people. That's a lot of change to me.
And he
you
means
see
it.
Toloco already has like a half-empty glass of wine. Fuck it, I don't care. Why not? Why not? The Ein's like, I'm still sorry. You brought this up before, didn't?
Yep. Sure did.
You were joking though, right? That was...
Nope.
No jokes.
There's
Titan
no
power
way anyone
gauge.
could go for this.
Real quick.
Titan power gauge.
Who meets the
now
criteria?
Now that he has fully accepted his aura and come to terms with it, he is a 24.
Great. Yep, meets the criteria.
You see Dior stands up. We've actually been discussing possible candidates the last 2 days as well for that, and it came up in our possibilities as well. Ein. Bradley, whichever you prefer. Ein, please. Ein. Appreciate that one. Ein. You may be one of the worst war criminals in the history of our nation. But the point of this position is redemption. Change. we can't choose someone who has remained the same, who has not gone through redemption themselves. And you saved my son's life. And mine. I can't say that I'll necessarily be a worshiper. But I agree with the nomination. Are there any here who oppose? Paisine like keeps his mouth shut, but he's like,
I just pet Isaac. It's okay.
fine, it's fine. I just hate the guy. It's fine. I'm not gonna worship. I won't. No way in hell I'm worshiping.
No, me neither. Me neither. Absolutely not. Oh well, I will.
It's like Ian looks at Finn like, thank you.
Not in that way.
Chairman would speak up. I suppose everyone has the possibility of change, and he has done so significantly. I see no reason not to accept him in this position.
I don't exactly see a better choice.
And just sort of
If he
like,
wants to do it.
he puts his cup down like the side of the arm of the chair, and like stands up. Okay. I feel like this is a trick somehow, and I don't know how. But okay, you all see how ridiculous this sounds, right? I've just spent the last like 6 months being broken down and like forced to care about you fucks so much that I actually want to keep some of you alive now.
Oh, thanks.
And suddenly I'm what, that makes me god material out of nowhere? It sounds crazy, right? Right?
Yeah.
You see Yamaita turns in her chair to look at him.
Not at all.
You've just described the exact reason why, my dear. It's going to take time, but if you want my opinion, and I think mine should count for something, as I've held a position similar for some time. I think it's those who don't want godhood who should have it most. Kendrick goes, I don't know about that. Yes,
He just
we're
rolls
making
his
stuff
eyes.
up now.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember when he killed me? Does everyone remember when he killed me? Does
Oh, he
anyone
did,
remember that
huh?
part? I just want to make sure everyone knows.
Yep.
He did
Made
kill me.
Made the crater.
From what we heard, he killed a lot of people, but
Yeah. But like me specifically, like personally, he shot me in the face. That hurt a lot.
You
You're
got
still
better.
I guess.
And you never done anything bad, Chris?
That is uncalled for, unsubstantiated, and unfounded.
Oh no, what did he do?
I'm gonna stop talking now.
Oh, I want to know more.
Well, okay, I still think this is some sort of trick because it's beyond bizarre, but sure. From sovereign to prisoner to priest to god?
Jump up.
No. He's like, he just sits down, he's like shaking his head. I'm gonna figure it out. There's gonna be there's some trick to this. Dior takes his seat again. And it sounds like we have the candidates move forward. Now then, as for how to move forward. The last 3 days, we have been trying to monitor the situation around the world the best we can. Things have gotten volatile. Susail, thankfully, seems to be stabilized finally after I've made a few promises and negotiations with the emperors and empresses there. I don't believe we are at risk of colossal civil war anymore. You see in the back of the room, Strike and Quill both kind of sit up, and Dior gestures to them. Strike goes, My father is very grateful for the aid that was provided to him during the ball from the Golden Clan, and it was determined that that was because of a deal you struck with them. Despite my father having many questionable qualities, he does regard those who help him as steadfast allies. I assure you, we will have no issues moving forward, so long as there are no further surprises. As he looks over to Quill. Quill looks to Strike. No, Emperor Boreas is in agreement, and we have received word from the Alabaster and the Golden that we are perhaps not in a truce as much as a ceasefire at the very least, I can assure you, until things have stabilized worldwide. I think, if nothing else, the events at the ball were a much-needed eye-opener for the threat of the Merc and universal enemy we all face. You have our support, King Dior. They both give like a bow. Good. Because I don't know what we're going to get from Calcifer and Dane moving forward. 2 days ago, scouts and spies in the Calcifer and Dane Republic noticed movement and infighting of some kind. There have been a number of riots breaking out in major cities across the Dane Republic. Seems to be some sort of outcry against this cult.
Oh, yeah.
Furthermore, troops have been spotted moving across the Calciphilian border. It seems with the knowledge of Tark's fall, Calciphel is currently without a leader, is currently in a state of disarray. I fear, unfortunately, there is little we can do to stop Dane from taking all of it. At this point.
Is the queen dead? Did Tark kill her?
Dior looks back to Cloak. Cloak steps forward.
Yeah.
I have contacts in the Rooks in Kaitark, and we don't know, but we can assume. After Tark died, whatever he had on people dissipated. For better or mostly for worse. I guess he had the ability to hold off death via Merc. And there were a lot of people who were too far gone. When he passed, let's just say Kaitark has been through so much already, and it's at its breaking point. There's already been a lot of evacuations. We've been trying to search for Queen Lunark, but if he had her in a similar situation, very likely that she went the same way as the others. It's possible she's still alive somewhere, but we have to go forward with the assumption that there is no leadership for Calciphel. Which means it's going to be chaos.
They didn't have any next of kin? Like cousins or...
Well, we could always reach out to the Artello vineyard. Count Artello is technically royalty. Unfortunately, the Valentine family line is gone.
If that is the case, Count Italo actually seems to like me quite a bit. Jared speaks up.
He
I
does.
could speak on our behalf.
I don't know. Dior continues. More to the point, we have to determine what we, as the Holy Land, are going to do. We have quite a few things on our plate. We could throw all of our efforts at defending Calcifer from Dane, supporting them, putting Artello on the throne, and doing what we can to repair Calcifer, but they say that those in leadership have to make the hard decisions, and I am going to put forward that I believe we may have to abandon it for the time being. We have far too much to do, and it would take all of our effort and concentration to try and restore Calcifer and repel Dane at the same time.
Seem like a lot of things
Lord
to do.
Dior, sorry, about to speak up.
Yes.
I should let you know, the day after Peria passed out, I told Naren something about her home, and
Yes,
there-
she informed. I noticed she had not arrived. She told me she was stopping by. I believe she said she was cleaning up the blight in the Calcifer forest. Yes, I am aware she is in Calcifer. I will be relaying this information to her and trying to extricate her as soon as possible.
Okay.
I don't really know. She said something about how this could have been done weeks ago. I don't really know.
Let me put it to you this way. She was still a child. She didn't really have the mind of a calculated individual, so when she discovered this information, she didn't really consider telling Naren, so that maybe Naren could deal with it.
I see, so this is something your
She
group has been
forgot.
aware of.
Yes.
Well, that's not any of my business. Darren did seem a bit upset, but I'm sure I can speak on your behalf. You were all doing important work. And there
Yes,
wasn't a
every
lot of
time-
time.
Every time I thought of doing it, something bigger showed up.
Well, I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. Cut to Darren fighting like a blight dragon in a swamp, like on the edge of death, riding a dragon made of trees and nature, and it's just this collapse, just this collide of like,
Oh, the other druids helping her.
yeah, a circle of druids summoning the avatar of nature, like ah. Cuts back to this meeting. I'm sure it's not a big deal.
Little fungus.
So, when are we going to address the
World dragon in the room.
Bardestian-sized issue?
That is something we absolutely need to do. But
Yes, I would love to be in with this one.
before that, I just need to make sure we're all in agreement. I understand some people here have connections to both Calcifer and Dane. Rest assured, we will make moves to get any family members or loved ones out of harm's way immediately.
Yes,
He looks to the twins. I have
Yes,
already
please.
been in contact with Elonea and informed her of what's going on. We're going to be moving your entire family to a home within
Oh,
Renati in the next day. There have been fights breaking out around the Alaran Oasis due to
I
the
know.
cult.
Mhm.
I will make sure they're here.
Hey,
Thank you.
there is a wizard in the city. A Quibble.
I see. How about this? If anyone has any persons of interest, family, friends, or otherwise, that they need safeguarded, let me know. I will add them to the list, and I will make sure they are found here.
My mother might be an impossibility with how close she is to Dane.
Yor looks to Felix, nods. I know. And I am truly sorry. I promise when it comes time to conflict with Dane, I'll do everything in my power to ensure that your mother is not harmed. If there's any way you may be able to convince her to defect, or I don't know. You have my word, though. I will do what I can. But yes, moving forward, the real reason I wanted to gather you all here today is to discuss the elephant in the room. Or just some tenser music.
The actual elephant?
Orlanasi takes offense.
Elephant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Orlanasi, like,
Wow.
everyone just looks at Orlanasi, and she's like staring at me. I'm sorry, should I leave? That's funny.
That's
Your
funny.
clears his throat. As of this moment, everyone in this room is either someone that I trust implicitly or is trusted by someone I trust implicitly. As such, this entire room is comprised of what I would refer to as my inner circle henceforth.
Oh, that's so cool.
We have a threat to this world that we need to address, and has been in need of addressing for far too long.
I agree.
Divadona the Eternal, also known as the Destroyer,
AKA bitch.
must fall.
Mhm.
Else we may risk saving the world only for her to destroy it all over again, or claim it, or ruin it in some way. There has been discussion in the past of her ascending to godhood, but none of us in this room felt confident or comfortable with that idea. And it has come to my attention that we have determined there are better solutions. We also have allies who are willing to help us. I have spoken with Empress Orlith of Crimson. She has assured us her support and the support of the Crimson Clan. I cannot speak for the rest of Susail, but I would like to inquire, Strike, with your father, if there is any aid he would be willing to offer. Strike goes, I have already spoken to him about the remaining issue with Gardus and the Merc, and he is willing to aid in that matter, yes. I don't think he'll go for Zivadona, though. And Quill goes, nor do I think my Emperor would as well. It's more a matter of, well, Mrs. Dior goes, you don't have to explain. Anyone who challenges Zivadona is putting themselves at immense risk. I understand. Still, let me know if anything changes on that front. They both nod. But we have confirmed the Lady of the Sea is apparently an ally in this endeavor. We need to discuss how to address this matter. Where, when, what methods we can employ. This is not a foe we can take lightly. We cannot underestimate her by any means. I believe we have discussed a few options. Fine.
He's just solving all my problems, isn't
We
he?
have come to understand that you have made a pact with her in the past. So he goes, it wasn't really my idea. Yes, this is gonna sound. I went to her back when I was with the Order to try and pose that we sire a child together, and it didn't go so well.
Oh,
So, like,
no.
he can't look at Perry as he says that.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, my image of you.
It didn't go well. It didn't happen.
Mm.
He nearly killed me, and
Okay, that's appropriate.
I had to prove to her that I was worth more alive than dead. So I told her about the abilities I had as a dragon rider. She almost killed me on the spot for suggesting that I ride her, and I told her that it was a figure of speech, it was more of a title. And once I told her of the benefits, she told me to prove it. So we made a pact, and I've never regretted a decision more than that, to be entirely honest. She tried to have me captured. Thankfully, I had an out with Castellus at the time, back when we were on decent terms. And then she was trying to hunt me down after that. It's a whole thing. I think she has this idea that she could just keep me in a cell in her private dungeon while she reaps the benefits of the power shared between Dragon and Rider, which was not... It's a mockery of what me and Imperia have. Sorry, Perry.
Not me.
I really should not have named you that. It's
No.
become more apparent as time has gone on.
I thought her name was Peria.
It is.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Rose can tell you more of the details as well about... Dior goes, yes, we are aware of everything that comes involved, including the fact that you have the ability to summon her forcibly. And goes, oh, that's not happening. She'll kill me in an instant. The moment I do it, she'll rip my throat out. She already told me as such. Dior goes, well, that would simplify things. What? We're also aware of the fact that with your passing, with the death of a dragon, he goes, oh, come on. I knew there was a trick. Oh, let's make you a god. Nah, just kidding. We're gonna kill you. Like, it's not that. Now that we have confirmation that your aura would not dissipate on death, there is no reason we couldn't revive you later. You know we're capable of it. But it would provide the most logical and simple solution to taking down Zivadona. See, and goes, even still, even weakened, she's still going to be incredibly strong. And don't forget, if she manages to get away for a full year without me, Rose speaks up, she'll become more powerful than she's ever been. Yes,
Oh, yeah, like
that's
we
why
need that.
it's a risk, it's a gamble.
That is why we bring her to the Lady of the Sea.
Yes.
Additionally,
Yeah.
her son, Horus, will be aiding us in this fight.
Mine goes, she has a son? Oh, why
What?
was I so repulsive then?
That was a secret, Violet.
No
Not
secrets.
to do yours, not.
I
Putting the-
suppose.
I'll put the gauntlet on the table for Violet to expand on.
Oh, the
Uh,
let's
Right.
Expound!
Additionally, we have this. So hold up the gauntlet.
See,
This
Dior
device.
obviously knows.
Yeah, this device has the ability to not only absorb decay from someone, we can also admit it while it's within the gut.
Well, that's evil.
That's why we haven't done it up until now. 'Cause it is
Oh.
If we
evil.
can fill this with decay and then use it on Ziva Donut, that would severely hinder her ability to use aura.
You guys hear Gala say off to the side, like, oh, and there was such a problem with Merc arrows. As you say that, there's like a murmuring of agreement. See Silben
He's a
just
monk.
leans
He
forward.
punches a lot.
I still don't like the use of that gauntlet, even still. But yes, if we can scare her into the belief that we could kill her with decay, she may discard her aura, which would make her far less terrifying. Let's not forget, Ivadonna is old. Very old. She knows the Aurora arts. She knows the Aurora elite.
Oh, God.
And I have no doubt she's even privy to the forbidden arts. Ones
Without
I
doubt.
want to do as Arcus.
Yes. Without doubt. Dior nods. So, the current plan is to isolate her in the realm of the Lady of the Sea and her domain, using Ain's ability to forcibly summon her somewhere. Then, during the fight, we try to afflict her with decay, and with the help of her own progeny, that may be easier. With her aura discarded, I am so truly sorry. Saying this before would have been more satisfying. Yeah, before what happened a few days. Ayn goes, you can just say it. You're gonna fucking kill me. We will do it as gently as possible, and with the assurance that you will. If anything, you should feel grateful. You should feel comfortable. We need your aura. We absolutely cannot continue without. You are
Fine, it's just a
imperative.
revenge stab, okay?
Who hasn't done one of those before?
Yeah.
Ain's like, honestly, man, who are you?
The biggest fan.
I'm one of a kind.
We
I guess-
will.
It's fine. I mean, I've killed plenty of your friends and family, I guess.
We will
Fine,
need several sorcerers around, so she doesn't just teleport away.
Yes. She is an accomplished master. We know that.
Love
Also her-
those.
Consort of dragons.
Yes. That is also a concern. Do we have any knowledge on whether or not she's able to call them to her from afar? And Ayn goes, oh, I am not. I have no doubt she can. I used to be able to do that with a few of my penance from Days of the Sovereign. It's not a hard bit of spellcraft. You see, Toloka goes, I mean, I did it. I made that mark on us that let us summon each other. I would not be surprised if she can just whisk them to her no matter where she is. So yes, we have to prepare ourselves for a fight with not one, but what, 6 dragons?
What?
Maybe it's less than that now. Is it how many did she have before?
There was one that died at the ball, right?
There was.
Yes,
And
okay, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
he was quite powerful, so that could be a boon that he's dead.
What's his face? Cardus.
Osiren?
Oh,
Yes.
Osiren.
Osiren's
Isaac-
probably not gonna show up.
I say Paizen speaks up, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, Osiren only stayed away. If we could find Osiren, we might be able to convince him to help too. If we can show him that we have a shot at this. But I don't think we can trust him as the problem.
No, I
Just
have no
try to-
doubt he would aim for the throne the moment she's dead.
Yeah. It would really suck to have to fight all of them and then another battle with Osiron. I mean, after Ziva, no, Osiron's not gonna be anything, but
Yeah.
he's still pretty strong. There is another issue, Paizane speaks of. Something I've kind of been thinking about. Because, I'm from Bardest, and we all have access in the city to the river Amita. Oh, yeah, by the way, your water's delicious. Thank you for that. She goes, oh, you're welcome. I actually forgot about that. That's right. I see where you're going. Yeah, so, she's the only one who has access to the source. I've drank some of the good shit from that pond, and,
Pleasant.
it gives you, so much power. Who's to say she doesn't just have, an endless canteen of the stuff on her, and we just end up fighting her forever?
Well,
I'm not a magic person, but that could be, a pretty easy, she just has, a bottle with, a portal on the bottom, and it goes to the lake, and she just instantly drinks, and it's Tilica goes, not how that works, but sure.
well then, Paizane, that gives us one other Bardestian option. Claim.
What's that?
Yeah. Thinking about that, actually. So, we could... Oh, God, that would be terrifying, but kind of exciting.
You should make the claim.
I could, but the only way it would be... If I claim, and we can't fight her in the ocean, then.
No,
We're gonna have to be in Bardas.
that is the trade-off.
Yeah.
We could still have,
Or we lie.
Ein killed mid-battle.
Thanks. Glad you're still thinking of me. Feeling so... but a minute ago, the whole God thing really got my ego up to here. Being knocked down slowly. I get it. I get it. You're all very clever. You can go fuck yourselves. Goes back to his strength.
It is a trade-off. If we
Yes.
challenge her for claim, everything is on the up and up. It is to the death, as I assume it always is.
Paizane nods.
And I don't think she would back down even if she felt Ein die. She couldn't back down in front of all of her people.
No, she's
That's
too
true.
proud for that. Mhm.
See, Dior takes this into consideration. So, option 1. Ein forcibly summons her into the domain of the Lady of the Sea. We have the aid of the pirates and the lady herself there. Apologies, but yes, Ein will die either way to weaken her.
Mm.
And we have the gauntlet to try and remove her aura from the equation. The only problem with that is there's less honor in it. It's an ambush. She'd be very likely to summon her entire retinue of dragons and potentially have access to a nigh infinite supply of rejuvenating water. Option 2, we challenge her in the arena. An official claim challenge. Do you think... Dior looks down to Paizane. Do you think she'd accept a challenge of multiple people against her?
She has already said.
Yeah, I think she'd take us all on for sure. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't.
Yeah, she said she doesn't fear us at all.
I think she made a show of forcibly getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not so sure I believe she wouldn't bend the rules if she felt she was losing. She seems like the ruthless enough of type.
I feel
After
like
all,
it's not.
Even in the arena,
Coward.
when we fought, we were allowed to drink the amounts of waters we had. Who's to say she wouldn't say it's just a couple time use?
I think
Even though-
she. Sorry, I think she would make a show of it. I think this is only conjecture. But to make it fair isn't the right word with her.
No.
She would want to make a show of it. I think she might have us
Oh yeah, we know about her shows.
conduct another tournament. Fighting her consorts first. Before fighting her. This is only conjecture, but...
Aizen nods. Honestly, sounds like something she'd do.
You know, I could ask Chorus right now his thoughts on this particular plan.
You see Narkushan, who's kind of in the back, just kind of absorbing all this, speaks up. So you're actually a Maita then? Like across the room to her. Like the real thing. A Maita. God. A Maita. Yes, dear. If needed, I can
My
prove
cousin
it.
is Kite.
But, the Narkushan stands up. Then maybe you know how we can get rid of that water. Take that out of the equation altogether.
Oh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Infinite healing water sounds great. But if we need to kill her, and we need to, that's one less thing we have to consider. Right? Yamaita goes, well, yes. Yes, I could remove my blessing from it. But I'd have to be brought to the water. If that's what you all want, yes, I can take away my blessing. But I gave that specifically because the people who were settling there were dying back then. That water is the only reason anyone can even thrive in that harsh land. Without that land, without that water, I don't know how those people will survive. The land is not fertile. My water is what makes it possible. Heat
So
is
how-
blistering.
How much of the continent are we talking here?
The whole thing.
The entirety of the mainland is affected by my water.
Oh.
The river
Is it-
stretches from the center of the city down through to the desert.
Forgive my ignorance, but is it possible to reapply the blessing once she's dead?
It takes time and power.
Mm.
Power I don't have anymore. Maybe, with time. I can't say for certain. And she gestures across to Sylvan. Another god could do it for me. Perhaps, one day. But if that is a concern of yours, yes, we could take that out of the equation. Level the playing field, so to speak. But it would also mean none of you have access to that water then.
Well,
I'm not going to deliberate, though. I'm going to remain neutral, as I'm supposed to.
We don't have much, do we?
For what? A mite in water?
I have a few.
I don't have any.
I have a few lessers.
I think
Yeah, I'm
Medea
allowed.
has one good one. Hold on, let me check.
I don't think any of us have a long rest.
Medea might have one.
I have one vial of impure amite as water.
Impure is short rest.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
2 impures left.
That.
So,
Yep. That's it. So, we need to get rid of this water, or whatever. We need to get her to a specific type of water.
salty water.
So that is the question, is we can put it to a
Okay.
vote if needed, or we can continue discussing. I'd rather not leave it to just pure vote. I'd rather we all be unanimous on a decision.
Oh, I'd rather her be a billion miles under the sea. Personally. And drowned. I want her dead.
We're working on that.
Thank you for your input.
Yes, that is my vote. Not in her own arena.
So, thoughts?
Is there a way to prevent her from summoning her consorts?
Hmm.
Perhaps the Lady of the Sea could help with that, since it would be her domain. That's
Right.
possible.
A forbidden
Something to that
thing.
effect, yes.
Okay.
Actually, very easily. If we can choose the arena location, we can make it so only people we allow, such as with Forbiddance, can teleport in or out, which means Ein would be permitted to bring her there. We do not allow her to bring others. That's very possible.
Okay.
That makes that option sound better.
And
Yeah.
if we go with the idea Narkushan had and disable the healing water, that would also limit her ability to infinitely fight, potentially.
Could we like dispel the water or the jug?
If you know where it is, know what it looks like, I know that it's the only one she has, perhaps.
Okay. Sounds like the
Truthfully,
job
the
for-
issue here is a lack of understanding of what she is exactly capable of. There is no one who has challenged her enough in 1,000 years to say one way or another.
I mean,
Portland?
if we are summoning her, without her knowledge, there's always a chance she wouldn't have a jug on her at the time of her summoning.
It's possible. But again, we're taking a lot of chances.
Yes.
The
And-
guarantee would be to disenchant the entirety of the Amite and water, but would come with the cost of us not being able to use it either,
And the people of Bardas
and the people of
descending
Bardas being
into an eternal drought.
until maybe another god can restore that. Yes.
That feels bad. Oh,
Feels bad, yeah.
it feels bad, man.
There's a non-0% chance that she has at least one full, if not more.
Personally, I feel our best bet of taking her down is with the Lady of the Sea.
Lady of the Sea.
Agree. Same.
The lady seemed to think she would be capable if she was brought to her domain. She seemed confident.
Yeah.
Which is not something you see against.
It's true.
An abomination like her.
I will say this, like Dior speaks of, I will say this to perhaps sober any expectations. I am not confident. And I don't mean that in that we can't beat her. We may be able to. But I don't want anyone going in this with overconfidence. There is no foe I have been less confident about being able to defeat.
I mean, you fought her off in Kaitark.
Yes, we did. And I've discussed with the others, like looks over to Tiloko, Filianor, and Rose. We all feel that she was, Filianor fills in, toying with us the whole time. We couldn't shake the feeling that we were barely a threat. And it's not something I remember pleasantly. But perhaps that's
Yes,
good. Maybe she'll underestimate us then.
Strength in numbers.
Looking back to Quillo, maybe we just need more information.
Bill stands. King Dior, I would like to propose an idea. I cannot give the promise of the aid of the Cobalt clan. However, I can provide aid on behalf of the Cobalt clan. If you would be willing to amend your deal with my emperor to include a few more allowances, I'll get the details sent over. Dior goes, very well. We can take it under consideration. What aid would you be willing to provide? Bill walks up and places a key down on the table in front of Peria. On loan.
Slowly steals the key. Of course,
Since we
unload.
are discussing something that will benefit all of this world, I suppose I can go a few weeks without some answers. I will hold on.
This is worse than the mirror, Michael.
Which hasn't been using.
I know, but no.
We know about that, right? We know about the library. We know about it. We know
I
about
think.
it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Perry said anything to Medea or Mirror or anything.
Here you go. I've added it to your
Ooh.
handouts. It's sitting in my DM items forever. I'll put it under Peria's. Archivist's key.
Archivist's key.
One of Bartoon's artifact. That son of a snitch.
Son
And
of a snitch.
it was found in a vault in Susail.
And Susail. Yeah. Okay.
Where's this
Oh.
under?
It's Peria, but I'll add it to
Oh,
everyone. I'll add it to all
okay.
players.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go.
Ah, cool. Ooh, pretty.
That's cool.
This is a Griffin saddlebag item. I can't take credit for it. I did obviously tweak it a bit to fit the Bartoon narrative, but it is a Griffin saddlebag item. It's an item I've been wanting to include in this campaign for like 3 years. Found it a while ago, and I was like, ooh.
What is this, a key?
It allows you to daily cast Magnificent Mansion, but the Magnificent Mansion spell has a library included where you can ask one question every day of the GM. The thing is, it's not so much of just ask a question, get an answer. It's got specific rules. The library can only contain written records from throughout history. So as long as it's something that's been recorded, it can show up in the library. You can't ask like, "What's the meaning of life?" There's no
Question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so is it a book that could have been a book but it was destroyed
Yes.
before? Oh,
Yes,
that's
even
sweet.
lost knowledge.
Hell
can be done.
yeah.
However,
That's cool as shit.
it does specify the DC increases as the more obscure the information you're trying to look for.
Got it.
So,
got
unlike
it.
the mirror, which will just give you a cryptic thing, you could fail the DC and that day you get no answer. But continue it the next day. Right. Will is giving this on loan.
Yep.
To the party with the idea of bettering the worlds to get rid of Zivadona, and with some IOU promise from Dior for the Cobalt clan. Dior nods. That will be extremely helpful. Thank you.
I could ask where the best
Okay, the key to
dragon
something.
slain arrow is.
Who sells them? Who makes them?
Who sells them, who makes them?
A key to a pocket dimension summer home that Zivadona can't get to. Is that what that is?
It's a super cool artifact.
It is very
You
cool.
guys are level 15. It's cool. It's fine to start getting the
Yeah, it does.
artifact.
It does. It is freaking
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Ah, yes.
Level 15, you just gotta hand out those legendary and
Yep.
artifact things like they're
Yep.
candy.
They're candy. Anything
Candy.
less is like, at this point.
Sell it.
I mean, if it's not attunement, it's still
That's
really
true.
good.
True. Which thankfully the key doesn't
Yeah.
require attunement.
Anything not attunement
No,
is like.
It's your second really
Oh.
cool key. The Dryad's
Yeah.
key and the Archive's key. Wow.
We like
Yeah.
keys.
We're the
Jingle,
key
jingle, jingle.
collectors.
Yeah.
Jingle, jangle, jangle.
Jingle, 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 jingle.
Jingle, 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 jingle.
Black Aurora, jingle, jingle.
As you guys are discussing, you see Avosi stands up. It's like, Dior, remember how you told me to let you know any fluctuations in the barrier during this conversation?
Oh crap.
Just happened. Dijora goes, what? Yeah,
Numbers.
seems okay now. I'm just letting you know. It happened. Okay, I'm gonna sit back down and stop talking. 'Cause I don't really know what's going on anymore.
Stop talking.
Oh.
Dior looks over to Cloak. Cloak just sort of nods and like
Disappears.
begins to head out.
Where's Cloak going?
Who's that guy? No, just kidding.
This guy.
I just want to know who this guy is.
Mira and Medea would know. This is Scar. He's one of the lieutenant.
Oh,
Okay. I was trying to figure
He
that
looks-
out.
Yeah.
It was Scar, yeah.
That's why
Okay.
him and Benrick are kind of flanking
Okay.
Rose. They're like
Um,
the two, the right hand and left hand.
I
Dior-
would like to cast a spell.
Sure.
I'm just gonna cast Locate Creature and specify Zivadona. That's all.
1,000 feet. Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
all.
Gotcha.
Just in case, because paranoia.
Understandable. Understandable.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow,
Dior,
bitches.
Dior looks over to Avosi. Keep me apprised of anything else. Is the barrier? No, the barrier's fine. It's up. It was just like a weird fluctuation, like something I didn't expect getting through. You understand how that's very concerning to hear, Avosi?
Yeah, like what does it feel like?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still kind of. You see, like Quill speaks up. This is regarding the Aegis you have around the city. Oh, right, Warden. Hey, if I feel wait, describe this. If I feel like a wibble wobble in my right lobe, is that? It's like lawful entry.
What?
Who to what?
Lord Dior, based on what King Dior, based on what Avosi is describing, it sounds like someone may have entered the barrier against your wishes. And Dior goes, "Is that? What's the point of the barrier then?" It's like, well, I'm not perfect. People of like considerable power or ability can, and as he's saying this, two things happen simultaneously.
Oh
One,
gosh.
Fuck you.
Cloak
Yo!
returns immediately and says, "We have a problem."
Cloak.
Yep.
Mira,
Oh, great.
you get a ping.
Oh fuck.
Mira shoots up and pulls her bow out.
As Cloak runs from the door, you hear the sound of guards. Like you hear them saying, "You can't go in there. There's a meeting. Wait, Lord." And you just hear people getting like shoved out of the way as the door is kicked down, and you see.
Oh, I gotta pee now. Oh god.
Oh, what?
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew they could hear every goddamn thing we were saying. I knew it.
Did I get a
these
long
fixed
rest?
Figures.
Oh,
Yes, you did. You're
Okay.
at full. You're all at full. You're all great.
Yay.
Oh no.
fuck.
As you see 6 individuals
That's exactly what Finn
Oh
says.
my God.
enter the room,
Oh my god.
led, of course, by Zivadona. The other 5, some of you have met before, of course. Dinarot, Stogus,
Mm-hmm.
Galadun,
Fuck.
Kirasel,
Oh god.
and Doldarun,
Oh no.
which you know better as the 5 remaining members of Zivadona's consort.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Just shit.
You see Dior immediately stands. Most of the people here stand immediately.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The meaning of is like they recognize who entered. See, Narkishan immediately stands. The Drake goes on high alert. Zivadona takes a step forward. Apologies for being so late to this very important meeting. But I heard you were having an urgent discussion regarding some very important political matters. And I thought it prudent to come and join the discourse. She steps forward and motions to Tierbrin, like,
Absolutely, just jumps out of the seat.
sits down. He these 5. You see a cloak is like backing up as they kind of fan out. Ivadona takes her seat. You could see, like, you can almost hear the sweat around the room dropping.
Yeah.
See Dior says, "Of course, Flame Chieftain, we are... How did you come to hear of this meeting, exactly?" That'd be ridiculous. You sent me a message directly, didn't you? You wouldn't dare think not to invite me since we're now such close allies, aren't we?
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Of course. Of course, I did. Silly of me. Dior takes a seat. And you see Dior looking around the room, and there is a moment of deep suspicion in Dior's face as he looks at everyone present.
Who the rat?
Ivadona hucks her chair in and sits herself. She looks over to Cloak, and she snaps her fingers. Something to drink would be lovely. Cloak looks back to Dior, who just kind of gives like a little nod. Cloak just like runs over to grab something. Ivadona turns to the table. Now then, since I have committed the grievous sin of tardiness, please forgive me while I need to catch up. What are we all discussing so urgently?
The Apostle War's still back on.
That's so. That is troubling matter. You know, I was once approached to become an apostle. A woman by the name of Odias believed that I would be a prime candidate. See, Amita kind of like, where's she to?
Hi, Mighty.
See, like, as like Amita kind of like chuckles, Zivadona looks across the table. And for the first time since you've ever seen Zivadona, she looks confused for a second. Then,
Your aunt's in town.
This
Auntie?
auntie.
And you can see like all of the dragon retinue like all look to her like. What?
Should you say the word auntie? Like, all
Yeah, literally,
Oh,
quite
cute
literally
shit,
what it
yeah.
is. Like it kind of disarms the room just a touch of people being like. Auntie?
Yeah.
And you see Amita stands. Hello, dear. It's been some time. It's good to see you.
You just see Finn saying, "What the fuck?"
We were just discussing the matter of the Apostle War. It's very good that you made it. Ivadona kind of regards. Interesting. Well, if you're here, I am very happy to see that we're all in cooperation then. It's like you see Ivadona give like a forced smile of some sort. His cloak brings something. He gets like he sees like 3 bottles of wine in his hand, and it's just like puts them down with a glass. Ivadona just kind of nods. He steps back. Well then.
Who's the rat?
Oh, I wanted to thank you again for avenging Hephaestus. I didn't have the chance to properly thank you last time, for I had to get this one, pointing to Tenera. Back home, she was simply a wreck. But she has been telling me good things about all of you. Says that you were very quick to act in her defense, and you have my gratitude. I must say, I am beside myself that I don't have the opportunity to avenge him personally, but suppose this will have to do. So, who do we have to kill for this apostle war?
Well, there's President Dane and Costellus. Your oracle.
I see. That simplifies matters then. They both live in very large castles that are very easily identifiable from the sky. As a reward for your assistance with Hephaestus's vengeance, which one would you like me to kill? I'll take it off our plate. This offer does not come lightly. We're currently in discussion about how to move forward with that very matter. And your offer is most generous. And she goes, I know it is. You're very welcome.
Fucking Finn is fucking steaming, man.
Narkishan too, like Narkishan is like
steaming!
white knuckle gripping her bow.
Yeah. He's gripping under the desk like fucking death grip, man. He's holding it
Literal
together.
steam coming off of Finn.
Yeah.
Ah. I'd say no.
I'm sensing some hesitation, my king. There's something wrong with my suggestion. Surely, you shouldn't have an issue with moving one of your opponents from the board, and you know I'm quite capable. Not at all. Of course, no problem, but it's just, see, she leans across. My king, you're sweating. Whatever's the problem? Philionor speaks up. What my husband means is, it's difficult because we understand that your methods are so thorough, and there are persons of interest close to each of the targets. President Dane has a general who happens to be the mother of someone in this room, and we would rather she survive the onslaught, as well as the entirety of the city surrounding him. Suppose that does make sense then. I am a bit more thorough than that. What of Costellus, though? Surely there's no one there you care about.
No, there
After
is.
all,
The other apostle that needs to win is there.
Other apostle? I could have sworn just now someone told me there was just Costellus and Dane.
Well, yes, technically right now that is true, and then one of them dies, the third apostle will be made, and then there'll be two again.
Is this true, Auntie? Mighty goes, yes, it's a very delicate situation, but we had a meeting with the Pleroma. You see, as she says that, Siverdona kind of straightens up a bit. Really? Interesting.
Can we do insights? Can we do
Yeah.
insights on that?
Yeah.
On her straightening
Yeah.
up.
Absolutely.
Finn wants
Is she
to.
a parade?
Finn wants to.
Is there a force in the world that she's afraid of?
Afraid of?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, please. All right, insight.
The thing that can just roam.
Hey, good job. Yeah,
All
that's
right, that was Finn, but yeah.
I will say, I rolled a natural 6 for her deception.
Nice.
All of you
Tell
can
me
tell.
this.
All of
Yes.
those numbers are high enough.
Yes.
The slightest, well hidden, typically, the slightest hint of fear. Which does not reflect often on her face, and is probably the reason you caught it. She does seem to fear the Pleroma and the Aeons. Well, that is interesting. So, I can't kill Dane because there's an innocent close to him. And I can't kill Castellus because you need the remaining apostle alive. Quite the dilemma. Quite the dilemma. Well, let it not be said that I didn't offer, at least, to take one of your problems off the table. Dior goes, and for that we are extremely grateful, Flame Chieftain. So then, on to other business, I suppose. It does not occur often that I admit this, but I could use the help of those of the Holy Land moving forward. If I am not permitted to wipe out Castellus, we will have to discuss how we are going to take care of him together. Knowing now that the murk can affect those without aura, all of the warriors I've been cultivating to survive without it, glances at Pyzane, are useless. So, I would like to be included in whatever plans you have for your assault on Gardas. You will have access to myself, my retinue, and all of my forces. As thanks for Hephaestaria's vengeance. Dior nods. That's extremely generous. We may take you up on that, but we have to be very delicate about it, you understand? Of course you do. Oh, you little people always have to be so delicate with the way you change the world. It's amusing. Forgive me, my king, but I just can't shake this feeling that I've walked in on something. Like entering a room when they were just discussing you. I feel like I've committed some form of faux pas. Is everything alright?
Faux pas.
Yes. No, we actually were discussing you just now when you walked in. Oh, well, do tell, please. We've been obviously making alliances across the world to the best of our ability. Dusail has been united recently under our banner, and of course, how could we not take into consideration Bardes Dominion? We were wondering what your input on this was, and obviously, since I invited you to this meeting, I knew you'd be showing up eventually. Clearly. Well, you all don't need to look so nervous. Obviously, we're allies. Right?
Yeah, nods.
Medea nods. Of course.
Of course. And I know some of us have had a rocky past. I know some of us have left the nest under less than ideal circumstances, looking over to Narkishan. And glance over across the room to Ayn briefly. But I would like to start over. Fresh slate. After all, once this apostle game is over, we have to discuss my ascension to godhood. Which brings me to my next topic of conversation. She looks directly at your group, to each of you. Hephaestai informed me of something very fascinating. That you found yourself in Kalunaris not long ago in the Karanis Sea.
Mhm. Yes, we had to deal with the
Jotani,
fire.
yes,
Yes.
I'm aware
Mhm.
of that thing's creation. Yeah, and I sent
Very
Hephaestus,
bad.
of course,
Yeah.
to help out. Because I could only assume Zotani was in the way of your true goal for being in the Karanis Isles.
Mhm. Just time crunch. Had to go to the ball.
Oh, yes.
And I took a very long nap, so that's my fault that we're running 3 days behind schedule.
Of course.
Yeah.
So the Lady of the Sea is alive?
Lady Zebedee, after our battle with Zertani, we weren't exactly in top physical form.
I understand.
Being weaklings and whatnot, you know.
Yes. Just flabby arms.
I understand. That is fair. You did face a sibling of the Taras and lived to tell the tale. That's impressive. You have my respect for that.
Can we do an insight there?
Yeah, you can.
I'm feeling we don't
I'm
need
good.
to.
I know. You know.
I don't need one.
I want to insight
You if you want
something else
Sure,
about
sure.
what she's never mind.
Oh, well, that ain't happening. Nope, that ain't happening, son.
You can use your own human insight. This just provides no extra insights.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That was Finn, sadly. This one's Medea. Okay, yep. I don't know shit. I'm not. Okay. Well, you know.
Well, then I look forward to you handling that issue promptly once this meeting is concluded, as you've had significant time to rest. And, as agreed upon, it is a condition for my ascension, which you clearly need, as you came all the way to me. Humbly request. Unless
Sure
things
did.
changed, I should be made aware of.
No.
Okay, that I'm inciting.
Sure.
Give an attitude
Yes.
deception check.
Yes. Is she aware of the change?
My
Yeah.
God, she's a human lie, or she's a dragon lie detector. Of
Ah.
course, she knows every single
Source
thing we're
point.
saying is bullshit.
Oh, never mind. That's worse.
One of her minions probably has like a spell or something that
I have a theory.
they know we lie.
Yeah, I think Admira in chat might have a good idea.
Different pictures.
Oh, I didn't see it. Her theory is the same as my theory. Where is the theory?
Does she know?
She knows
21 insight, what was that for?
100%.
Specifically?
Those Theorin, is she actually like unaware of our new decision concerning her?
God, yes. There's no way she doesn't. After the disturbance in the field.
I will say the mood in the room is exceedingly tense. Her arrival was clearly unannounced. Dior did not know she was coming, so she was not invited. You also know there's no reason she would be invited, with the conversation being about how to take care of her. As to whether or not she knows you're all trying to plot her death, you're not sure. But you can make whatever inferences you'd like that she is being very coy and came in here with a show of force. With her 5 remaining dragon consorts. Each of which you know to be truly gargantuan-sized ancient dragons. In the guise of humans, essentially. Herself being above the size of Colossal. If she turned right now, this room would be rubble.
We know.
The building
yet
would be
she's
rubble.
and yet she is currently having wine and discussing with you Whether that's because you think she's toying with you, or
Yeah.
maybe she's prodding for possible betrayal. You don't know if she's sure yet.
Neat.
I would say on a 21 insight, you also would get the sense that she is paranoid by nature because of her position in the world, so it's possible she's just testing the waters.
It makes sense.
Lady in the water.
All the world powers are gathered together. Under
Yeah,
her
this
roof.
room is
Except
filled
her.
with a lot of extremely powerful people, both physically powerful and politically powerful.
But her auntie wouldn't be in the same room as those plotting her death.
That is a good point. You're
Hey.
not sure. She did seem very perturbed that Amita was here. That might be a point in your favor.
Well, you know.
Good old auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Funny. Oh, is the okay. Well,
Well,
I don't want to talk anymore because I don't want to have to make deception checks.
very well.
so
If we are in agreement, I will muster the forces of Bardast to march on Garda's soil after I've received confirmation the Lady of the Sea is no longer a threat at my homeland. Which, obviously, you'll be taking care of first thing tomorrow. When you're bright and rested, right?
Of course.
I mean, you've already
Obviously.
been there, and you clearly have means of travel quickly to and from.
yes, we
Yes,
do.
of course.
Obviously.
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 Hmm.
Once the Lady of the Sea is dead, I will pledge all of Bardast's power to felling our enemies. And once we have removed the two apostles, delicately, and only the one is left, we can discuss how to divide out the land. Equally.
That doesn't sound bad.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
That doesn't sound bad to me.
In the meantime, I would like to discuss an exchange of supplies. I'm still getting used to that. I have been told by Tinrock that there was an ability displayed during the ball that allowed you to remove the murk. I didn't quite believe it myself, but it seems to be true. So look directly at Ein. If you would be willing to provide me some assurance, such as perhaps a sample of that aura or something of the sort, I'd be willing to provide you with some supplied water from my reservoir, my personal reservoir.
Man, she definitely heard.
I feel like she heard. I feel like she heard snippets.
We're bad. We're bad.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Dior goes, well, we have not really learned of a way to separate the ability from mine. The moment we have some form of breakthrough, you will be the first to know, because we would very much appreciate that water for our troops. That is an invaluable resource. I suppose that will have to do for now, then. I suppose this means the meeting's adjourned, since we can't move forward until certain things are handled first.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, good. She stands, and she downs the rest of her wine. I will look forward to your prompt results. Once the seas around my land are clear of that invader, we can get down to business. United.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course.
Oh, and I'm sure, as you've undoubtedly have liaisons from Susail and all the other lands that are gathered here. I see Sylvan. So good to see you again. Sylvan goes, I would like to offer Tinarok
Oh,
to
fuck,
act
not
as my
her.
envoy.
Oh, not her!
He
No!
steps forward, kind of gives
The
a
best
bow.
one.
She will be staying here on my behalf to ensure any access to me you need is prompt and efficient. And of course, to ensure our interests are kept aligned.
Sounds good.
Of course. That makes perfect sense. We would be happy to host Lady Tinarok here. Thank you, my king. I don't know how happy I am to hear that.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Becky don't like it. Becky doesn't like this. I don't like this, Mr. Krabs.
As the rest of them gather up
Nah.
behind her. And take their leave.
Bless you.
Finn puts on a good poker face and he's just like,
Thank you. Well, we should pack.
Good talk. Good talk. Good talk. She kind of dominated the conversation, but hey.
After the door closes and they leave, Mira, you feel the locate creature further and further away until eventually it's gone.
Alright.
Tinarok, at the end of the table, stands. I wanted to personally thank you all again. And I know my mistress can be very intense, only because we have never suffered a loss of one of our own in the last 2 millennia. It's taking its toll on her.
Of course.
But we greatly appreciate all that you're willing to do for our united front moving forward.
Finn do an insight on her.
Yeah.
I think she's being sincere, but that it's Finn, even though it says
15?
Medea. Yeah.
You sense sincerity.
Yeah.
You sense Tinarok, among all of them, seems to be the one who actually cares about you guys a little bit because of what you've done to help her. In fact, Finn doesn't know it, but from the beginning, Tinarok was always one of the nicer of her consorts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You see
Well.
Cloak walks up
Mhm.
and comes up and like whispers something to Dior.
Yeah. Did he do it? He did stuff.
Dior just kind of looks to him and nods.
Yes. Good job, Cloak.
Dior stands up.
Sorry.
This will, I suppose, conclude our meeting for now. We will obviously address how to move forward once the Lady of the Sea has been slain, as per Flame Chieftain's wishes. Like looking directly across at Tinarok, who just kind of gives a small bow. As Tinarok turns to leave, one sec.
Yeah. Cloak put something in her drink, bro. He had to, bro. Something she couldn't detect, bro. Come on.
No,
Come on.
that.
Come on, Cloak's sneaky as shit.
Keon did time a couple times to see if it would work.
Or something.
Eventually,
Yeah, something.
Actually, but
Yeah.
the whole group feels a telepathic bond spell take effect.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Woo.
And you hear Dior, you hear Toloko's voice through Dior's. Took a couple castings, but I think I've linked the whole room now. What's the plan?
Well,
Guess we're killing her tomorrow.
I suppose it goes down tomorrow.
Can we get some potions of fire immunity?
Hold on. We can always go to the legacy, explain the situation. Have her rough us up. And then we just tell Zibidona we're not strong enough.
No.
Bandage
No.
at this point.
Then Zivadonna will just kill us.
Yeah.
She will see us as, you were too weak. Bye.
We should let Chorus know.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Not now.
No, when we're in our ship. Let's take the 2-day trip. They'll buy us some time.
You hear Dior's voice pick up across the link. We still have to discuss further. I will use my vestment tonight to create a dreamscape.
Yeah.
We will finish this there. Or we probably should have started it. And among those of you here who can hear me, if it was any of you, we will find you. And the consequences will be dire. And you kind of see like everybody silently like looking around to each other.
Oh, an insight. Who looks the most nervous?
You can give an insight check if you'd like.
Alright.
You know what? Violet will share as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Ow,
Medea
so
and
point.
Finn. Let's do it.
12. Oh, damn.
Okay,
I got my
this
nat
is
20.
Finn. Insight.
DM.
Okay,
Yes.
that's Medea. That isn't
In-
Medea, but
So instead of inciting the people around the room,
no shit.
I would like to roll an
Oh no. An Arcana check?
I will flare
I'm
aura.
concerned that it's accidentally me.
I will flare
Yeah,
aura
hide
to
it.
reap.
Bro, it's probably Medea with her fucking sword.
It
Come on,
doesn't want me to roll. It just doesn't want
She
me
touched
to.
the sword.
It's true, she did touch the
She probably put something on it. Sneaky little
Well-
bastard.
Oh, awakened it.
Whatever the 11 is worth,
11.
Pyzane is a
What do you
claim
find?
chieftain.
A claim keeper. He
A
was.
claim keeper.
Timekeeper. Mm.
11 Arcana.
I'm wondering if it was
I mean,
him, not on
hard to
purpose.
say.
Generally,
You do know Narkashan was a member of the Fane, and he used to be able to see through and hear through Narkashan. You suspect she would have been able to do the same for Pyzane at once upon a time, but the same severance has been done for Pyzane as it was for Narkashan, so one
True.
should have worked the other.
Damn.
Hard to
magic
say on
items.
an 11 Arcana. Everyone else with an insight, you don't. I'll say the 20s on the insights.
All right, Finn. Yeah.
Finn and Tierbrin, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. First one
You
was Finn.
two don't feel like anyone here looks particularly guilty.
Hmm.
But this I think I would like to do one more session before the subplot.
Okay.
As time did not allow further conversation, unfortunately. But so next week will not be the subplot, but we will wrap this here. And next week we will pick up with the remainder of this conversation via dream spell, as well as a inquiry into how did Zivadona find out and what
Yeah.
to do moving forward.
Yeah.
We will pick that
We
up
need-
next week.
We need to leave all of our magic items at the
Yeah.
door. Because you know she did something.
A full inquisition will need to be done as
Oh my
it's coming to light that Zivodona. I will say you might be onto something by she may have only heard bits and pieces because it was very clear you guys were talking about how to kill her, and she hasn't killed you all yet.
Mhm.
Or she just doesn't feel that you're a threat.
Threat. Yeah.
She really doesn't think there's any reason to be concerned for whatever reason. But
She
if
likes
she
to play
heard
with her
everything
food.
you're talking about, it's hard to say.
Mm. Yeah. I think she likes to play with her food before she eats it. That's what I think.
Absolutely, she does.
She has these big ass claws, and we're just peas on a fucking plate. You know,
Being poked.
it's fine.
Knocking
Stabbed.
around the plate.
It's just
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, the discussion of what to do of are you fighting Zivodona immediately or making something with the Lady of the Sea to fool her or what?
I mean, it's an option. We could be like, we're not strong enough, and then try and be like,
I mean, you could also, another idea, nothing
Hmm.
saying one would work more than other. You could talk to Lady of the Sea, inform her of everything you've just learned, and see if maybe she could, like, you could banish her somewhere and make Zivodona think she's gone.
Mm.
Like, oh, we killed her. She's gone. How much
you
time do we have? Does
know,
that buy us, you know?
Felix does have sequester now.
Mm.
There are
What is
options you could look into.
We could say, "Oh, you know, your son. I know, and we know you don't care about him. You don't care about him, but the Lady of Sea is gonna kill him or has him captured. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
sequester. I just looked.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
you could go talk to the Lady of the Sea and explain you need to fool the destroyer for a while. That is an option.
Shit. Well,
That is an option.
I took a because Felix has weird spells for what he gained access to with the level up, and I was like,
Mm.
which one of these would be good in a weird role play? Let's go with sequester. That seems cool.
Getting her to hide her presence for a while and then just be like, we killed her. Maybe get a trophy from her or something. Go to Zivodona. There are options. Or you could just expedite the plan to kill Zivodona and do it now. We'll see. Or you could kill the Lady of the Sea.
I mean,
We
Kill
do
them.
that.
don't
We
think
got
we're
it.
gonna do that.
Just do them both. You know, who cares?
it's still not too late
need to
to
level
back
up.
out.
Not too late. Yeah, Zivodona's
You're
not
at the
making it easy on you
crossroad.
guys.
No.
Not
Love
making
it.
it easy.
Every time she shows up, it's like, is this really the right choice?
It's literally butt clench. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Also, I
only
know-
like that because we're afraid of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who the rat is.
Oh.
Scar. He was never here before, and then all of a sudden,
Mm.
Zivodona shows up.
Valid
Fine.
point.
New guy!
It's the new guy.
We
No,
knew you for
honestly-
years.
Honestly, I think it's us.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Oh,
us.
absolutely.
'Cause we're
It's something
we
we
took a
have on
boon
us.
from her.
We took a boon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we have
Did take
magic
a boon
crap.
from
Yeah.
her.
So
You do
Uh-huh.
have that extra attunement slot from her.
gotta
Yeah.
unattune.
Mm.
What thing? Oh man,
Possible.
what do I gotta unattune from? I don't want to unattune from this.
Yeah.
Fun.
Well,
Oh,
the
great. I love
plan,
it.
the plan when we kill her was to have Lady of the
Lady of
Sea
the Sea.
override it,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
so we still have it, and then yeah.
We should do that before the fight.
That is a weird question. What if we like get a boon from the Lady of the Sea, then sequester her? Would we have 5 attunement slots until we take out Zivodona?
Hard to say.
Oh, we should find out.
I don't know. God. Ah. Can't
He's
can't
the
be
ultimate
can't be
scare.
can't be easy. Can never be easy.
Oh my
Nope.
No, of
God.
course not.
But this is why I would like to do. We'll need to do one more session of roleplay with the
Yeah.
main group, just to square away what exactly the order of actions is going to be, which will give us one more week before the order subplot, and
Yeah.
then we will do that. So Becky, you have another week if you need it. And you can get
Okay.
art and everything.
Yeah.
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 Ah.
Okay. All right. Yippee!
Cool.
I was like, I'm so afraid of saying anything.
Yeah.
It's like, don't lie.
Yeah,
Ah,
we know you're strong. Yeah.
Alright.
so strong.
Well.
Ben wanted to like go across that table and punch her in the
Mhm.
face so badly.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
sure
He's
Dark
not
was a
dumb.
pair full of arrows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. There's a lot of restraint in the room for that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you guys have
All right.
good week.
yep.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See
Glad we could get
y'all.
back to this.
Yes.
Glad we got to the lore dump and so much talking. My throat
Oh
is
my-
so raw.
Yeah, go hydrate yourself, sir.
I need to very badly.
Alright.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night. Alright. Well, we're gonna go ahead and send the raid out. Thank you, Mira. Oh my god, so much happened. Alright. Until next time, let's send the raid out. Bye.